Good evening, everyone. I got a notification from the channel. Did you get your notification?
Yep, that's why I'm turning my volume down now.
Yours. I got yours too. Even though you called it the shit show.
It is a shit show. All the graphics that I'm creating says the shit show, not the trucking shit show.
I don't know where you came up with that at. What's up, Brian? The poop show is what he calls it.
Because that's the message that I sent you to begin with. What up, Right Way?
Right way, hey. 18's in a cigar chair again, smoking a cigar.
What? He's somewhere. We go live and he walks away.
Well, guys, we had a guest lined up tonight. I don't know what happened to our guest. He confirmed.
Yeah, I need to get that out of my title.
I can't change it. Good evening, Jonah. Hello, Nicole. Brian just said, did 18 retire? Actually, 18's having some work done on his truck. He's trying to get it all done before the 30 days is up. What a funny. We got 17 people in here looking at this already in just less than a minute. That's crazy. We're getting more views than Charlie and Jeff are now. You know that, D? And we've been doing this for
guys. Who are you talking to? Who you talking about?
Charlie and Jeff, the Swift guys. They do a show. I know you don't know about that one.
Yeah, I don't know who they are.
You're not a Swift driver, so you're not going to know about it. How is you, country? I got approved with SFI, and I'll be coming to Charlotte December the 2nd. Gary Tomlin.
Nice, Gary. Welcome, buddy. Welcome.
So the wife wants to know how your carnivore diet is going.
No, she was talking to both of us because I'm pretty sure you decided to do it with me and neither one of us did it. So mine hasn't started yet.
Actually, she knows my progress because I talk to her every day. Mine's actually started, and I've been doing something.
Mine hasn't started yet, just for the fact I haven't been able to got a fridge yet, and I just don't want to have to buy fucking meat 3 times a week out here on the road.
Well, I haven't eaten fast food in 4 days. Everything I've cooked has been on the truck for the last about 4 or 5 days, something like that. I guess since Wednesday or Thursday.
Good.
So
good for you, man. Good for you.
Everything I'm eating on the truck. I'm tired of spending all the goofy ass money. How are you, country? Gary Thomas says.
Good, Gary. Good, Gary. Nice to meet you, buddy. Nice to see you.
And the wife said, no sugar, guys. Well, that's what I'm gearing more towards is sugar more than the carbs. Although carbs turn into sugar, but I have slowed down on carbs quite a bit. I'm trying to do better options.
Sugar has not really been a big consumption of mine for a long time anyway, so sugar's not a problem for me. So how's your week? How's your week?
Except for the Little Debbie case, right?
Pop-Tart. Yeah, it's that time of year, sweetheart. Chili. Yes.
Brian Jess says, country was eating a waffle sandwich this morning. I agree those damn things are good. But my go-to is with those free points.
Yeah. If I can't, those waffle sandwiches from Love's are really, really good. I guess I can't say I don't do sugar much because that sandwich, maple's got sugar in it, but I don't consume like cakes and candy, put it that way. And I don't drink, regular pops or hardly any pop at all. So,
Lance Calvin says, "Am I the only Lanstar in the live? You got D on here; he's a Lanstar guy, but you're the only
guy on the bottom."
J Square said, "Good evening, you all.
Welcome."
So sorry, go ahead with your.
I had my week was not horrible, but you might see me staring this way a little bit sometimes because as I'm parked. I parked a little late. I had to run a little long today, so I had to finish up my vlog. I just transferred the data from the camera to the laptop. Now I'm on my laptop, get ready to import it into After Effects or Premiere, so I can edit it down and then render it. Then I got to transfer it back to my phone and upload it. So I'll be editing the vlog while we're here in this live. J Square, hey Square, JJJ. Do me a favor, buddy. Every video I have my emails in my video. Please shoot me an email. So so I'd like to talk to you. So shoot me an email. You can either give me your phone number in that email, or I'll give you my phone number in a reply. Either way, I want us to chat. Please.
Let me read some of these comments here. Carry me, please. I came late. Are you all talking about McGriddles?
They're not McGriddles, damn it. He's trolling me. He's trolling me.
Tommy Creamer
Aren't
says, greetings
McGriddles
from Illinois.
the pancake ones?
What's up, Tommy?
Yeah. Yep. Charles Ferris says, I was hoping you all would do that diet eventually because I'm kind of wanting to follow along with it so I can learn myself. But you can definitely follow along with us. I'm definitely doing it. I'm starting.
Oh, yeah.
He's starting for other reasons because he hasn't started because, like you said, you haven't had a chance to go get any meat or your freezer yet.
Well,
I already started
right.
somewhere.
Now I know me saying it, and this is like, I mean, even I talk. See, nobody can talk shit more to me than me. Nobody can punish me or degrade me more to me than me. I promise you that. When I fuck up, I'm looking at myself in the mirror or the camera, like, listen, you son, I'm talking like really crap to myself. But I know me better than me. Now I know by saying this, it sounds like excuses and delaying or whatever. I just don't. The freezer in this thing is that freaking big. I could get maybe 4 hamburger patties in that thing. I'm not going to buy a bunch of meat, put it in the fridge, let it freaking go bad for 3 or 4 days. So if I continue to do it this, I would have to get Walmart updated orders 2 or 3 days a week, and you just can't do that realistically out here. So I'm not canceling it. I'm delaying it so I can get the proper equipment in here, which is the fridge, so I can store meat and have the access to the stuff when I need it. So like I said, I know it sounds like an excuse, but I know me better than anybody. So I just know mentally, unless I feel like I'm prepared for success, I won't stick to it. I'll fail. I know that. So let me do me. It might not be as quick as I wanted it to, but I will start at 100% shortly.
What's up, James Smith? How are you, buddy? Speaking of James Smith, what company did you end up going to? I know we talked on the phone several times, and I told you not to go to JB Hunt. I'm curious to where you went to. I don't know if I ever found out. Tommy says, KO playing with his food. Brian just says, to all you Dallas fans out here, I'd like to let you know the Cowboys suck. Big Boss says, damn it, country. Pop-Tart, why is KO wearing his Swift, or why is KO? She's called you KO, but why is Daviel wearing his Swift hat? Ain't that the truth? What's up, drivers?
Daviel? I don't
He used to
know
work for Swift.
Not KO.
Okay, stop. What are you eating, popcorn? Michael Pierre says, how's the new truck,
Sugar.
AT?
Well, new trucks are used trucks, and used trucks do what used trucks do. I just got to get a couple of stuff just hammered out on it. Nothing major, nothing crazy. But the only problem that I have is that I've only ran a week with it, and my warranty, the 60-day warranty that I have, it's coming up on its 30th.
I think we lost him there. What he's trying to say, his 30-day warranty is about up. When he bought the truck, they told him to find anything wrong with it and let him know within 30 days. So we'll go ahead and get some of these. So Pop-Tart, what is the word of the day? We understand it's better to be fully set up. Everything can go right. That's true. Highway
That's right,
trucker.
Mr. Highway.
Control your mind control. Control your mind control, your mouth, and control your money. I guess that's what she's trying to say was the word of the day. Hello, big, fat, ugly trucker. That's a great name, huh? Is it me or is 18 mics low? Yeah, we got 18's mic really low because he's really loud when he comes out. I got it on the master here, and he's down really, really low. You sound really low, 18. He's not even on here now. So James Smith waited till after the election. We're going to get the right man in office. Okay. So now that the right man is in office, where are you going to, James? Have you made any decisions?
Good morning. So who's it? James Smith? I don't know if I recognize
Yeah,
that name. One of your guys,
yeah,
I'm sure.
he's been on here several times. He wanted to come to JB Hunt, and that was right before Poppy went off on his little tangent. I called him
Yeah.
back the next day and told him to hold off. It's not a good time. And as you can tell, I'm not here no more. He says, I'm liking where you are. Well, F2F is an awesome company. Absolutely awesome company. But the negative thing that I can say about F2F, and it's only one thing, and it has nothing to do with the company. And actually, I'm going to put out a 30-day video here in the next couple of days because I want to and I need to, and I haven't done one in a while. But they're an awesome company. Just the spot market sucks. I think we're in a good position. I think the spot market's starting to change a little bit. And when it does, it's going to be sky the limit. I don't think we'll ever go back to COVID numbers or anything like that, but I think we're going to go up tremendously. That's my opinion. Well, all of us are having
Jays.
internet
Go ahead.
problems. You're spinning. I'm spinning. Dee was spinning.
I'm spinning? Why am I spinning?
I don't know. You were spinning too a little bit. Country,
I got your email, Jay. Thank you.
Brian
or should
Jess.
I say Jacob?
18. I broke the door latch on my closet in here last week. Found the part on Amazon. Just repaired it. Works like new again. Something breaking on these damn trucks. Yeah, those Kenworths are delicate when it comes to those doors and cabinets and stuff. 18 says he got technical difficulties. I bet you always have technical difficulties, 18. Your brain has technical difficulties. Lance Calhoun says tariff money was good in 19 and probably have another year of that. Yep, I agree with you. There's a lot more to that than what we know that's going on right now. There's going to be a lot of changes here soon. I mean, the man's only been like 4 days elected into office, and he's already planning his changes already. I mean, he's already said a lot of his changes. Man, that man's busy.
You got that damn song, that damn beat stuck in my head.
I love that. That.
When you told me that you liked that song, I was like, holy shit! We did remember that night I shared my one and only rap in the world.
Uh-huh.
All right. Now that was during the time we were gamers, and I was with some music people too, and we created these games. But this guy that was my partner on that track, he did little things with like 6, 7 other people, and one of those songs was using that track that you like for your intro, which is why I just can't stand that fucking track no more.
Oh, I love it, man. I love it.
However, we're going to talk about, since this is a group show now, not just a solo show. We're going to get we'll put together another intro, not using that song. You can use that for your personal shit.
Fine. So Brian just says the door latch wasn't delicate, James. It just didn't close right because a shirt was stuck in it and it hit the hard latch and it broke. Probably shouldn't have hit it. So the latches that I'm talking about, and I know you got the Kenworth, is those little cabinets right above the driver and the passenger. Those little handles, they just hang on there. And I don't know why they don't take care of that. Every Kenworth that I've ever been in has been that way. Life on 18 Wheels says your mama got technical difficulties. Well, my mama's no longer.
It's like your mama.
Yeah, my mama's no longer with us, so you need to speak about your own mama, buddy. Tommy Creamer says, if I could offer y'all something to eat, I'm having pork roast for supper. Now that sounds really good.
Pork roast does sound good.
Big Eye.
Well, I guess I recorded more than I thought. I got a 18-minute video tomorrow for the vlog, guys. That'll work out pretty good. I didn't think I recorded that much.
How did you set up your CB country? He wants to know. Big Eye.
I don't. What do you mean by how did I set it up? I'll tell you what I got, then maybe you can elaborate for me. I have the Cobra LX29, the Cobra 29 LX, which is the one with the shiny front and the LED and the big knob in the middle. And I have it setting here on my dash. The antenna I have is a Striker A110. It actually lights up blue when you keep the mic. I have my blue LED. I have my LED display set to blue. Um, I, anything else you're looking for? I don't know. I think that's about it. Yeah, antenna. Yeah. So if I hope I answered. If not, elaborate a little more, please.
Pop Sart says, "Ain't no love like a mother's love." Ain't that the truth?
Gotta love mama.
J Squared, just remember that when the rates get better, stack the money and don't spend it. 100%.
Yep, that's a fact.
Bodie Thompson says, "Hey James, I'm at JB Hunt. They said you were wanting job back. They couldn't hire you. Moonlighting, F2F." That is correct, Bodie. That is absolutely right. I did try to go back until I decided that I was better off staying where I'm at. I don't know if you're trying to troll me or if you're just trying to put out my my secrets, but I said that.
The weird thing is your contract ending was before your contract beginning at F2F. For whatever reason, they decided to try to use moonlighting, which was not even real because you had proof of it.
I do have proof of it. Yep. What's going on, James and Country? Glad to see you. What's up, Zulu?
Zulu!
Every truck needs a CB.
I agree 1,000%, Pop Tart. Man, I hate these little assholes out here because I want to hear them tell them. I want them to be able to hear me when I tell them how big a loser they are and how much their mom should have swallowed them. How much they. That's all CB is anymore. Because you hear crap. You every now and again you get a couple of fellas who will have a nice conversation, and even I'll find someone driving in the road will have a conversation. But 95% of everything you hear on a CB is someone, "You stupid son of a," you're just going on like, call the truck. If you're going to do that, call the truck out. Don't just talk and going down the road. Call them out. Be a man or be a human being. Be an adult. Whatever.
So Brian Jess says, "I guess I'll get ready to roll over to Hattiesburg and make the delivery shortly. Once I go north of Indy tomorrow, then back home to Florida. Getting good at building these laps out and back home." Now, me and you, Brian, we need to have a talk, buddy. I need you to help me set up some shit like that too.
Hattiesburg, Mississippi. I might be passing you tomorrow because I'm going down to. No, I won't. I won't be going that far.
So Big Eye says, "Did you have someone install it at the shop or thinking about getting a new one?"
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, I used. I did. Well, I gotta remember now with the install of the CB. These Cascadias have a CB stand on the dash, and you just put a Velcro strap over it, and it's installed. The mount I put on myself, and the original antenna I had, which was over there, I put on myself. But then I had this one put on because it's a better antenna, and I had a shop to install it and tune it for me to make sure it was all correct. Because if your antenna is not tuned correctly to your CB, it can blow your CB up. It can fry it. So, but I used he's up in Carlisle, Pennsylvania, right off exit 52 behind Sunoco. B&B Radio, I think is what it is. I can't remember the exact name, but I've been to him twice already since one of my company truck. He did my full install then, and one this time. So next time when I go to get a bigger radio, I'm going back to him. He's a good guy. He won't try to rob you, and he's fair, and he knows what he's talking about. So I will go to him when I need CB shit. I will make a special trip to Carlisle, Pennsylvania, just to go see him.
Let me get caught up on his. J Square said he made some Spanish rice and orange chicken in the truck tonight.
Yeah.
Pop-Tarts in a linear amp.
Well, yeah, we don't want an amp. We ain't trying to be all house. I mean, wouldn't be bad to have more powerful radio, but amps are expensive, right?
Your mom's favorite railroader evening. So I'm guessing that 18 Wheels has decided to be a part-time YouTuber because he's not on the channel anymore, but he's commenting.
We do have a co-host spot available if anybody wants to be full-time Sundays at 7 p.m.
Yep, we sure do. Lance Calhoun says you must have a CB. Got to see who has panties on.
I ain't got no panties on. I'll CB with a scanner. Gotcha.
They got the CB with the police scanner on it.
I'll think about this today. My CB has a PA system. I want a speaker on the front so I can flick that switch to PA. But you stupid son of a! That's a hell of an idea. Speed up to pass the trucker just to go slower than he was before you passed him. I hate that. It happens all day long. I'm going 72 on cruise. Someone will pass me going 76 and go down to 67. Like, you stupid son of a.
So 18 says CB is a mist.
CB's a mist. Yep. Yep. So is our third host. So is our co-host. He's a mist.
How much was the install? Why don't you come on here and ask him how much the install was? Jesus. KO said he's him. Like, here's KO trolling 18 too. And he says, what up, my KO? My Wi-Fi's down. Yeah, what happened was he decided to go eat some enchiladas, like he said.
What had happened was, what the hell's going on here? Let me do this, do that, do this.
So J Square said I-40 exit 126, about miles south. There's a good CB shop. That's where I used to go.
I'm sorry. Read that again, would you?
I-40 exit 126, about a mile south. There's a good CB shop where I used to go.
Exit what state?
That's a good question. I'm assuming Tennessee, but I don't know that for sure.
Maybe Arkansas?
Could be. So Flying Patty's on here. Just came out of Jackson, Mississippi. Picked up a heavy haul T800 for a friend up here in New York. Rental car down and bobtailed up 2,900 miles in 44 hours with 2 nights in hotels. Kicked my Irish ass.
See, now you're just showing off. Here I was talking today how I busted ass and ran 550, and now you're like, now you're just showing off, Patty. You're just showing off, and I feel offended.
So I got a feeling this is probably a troll account. John Wah wants to know where the best place for lizards are.
Any metropolis area, big city, Tennessee, Nashville. Nashville's got a bunch of them. They'll rob you while they're at it, but I hear that's why you don't stop in Nashville or Memphis, rather, not Nashville, Memphis, Nashville too, probably. Any big city you can get you a lizard.
West Memphis, Arkansas is the place to stay away from. I've always been told to stay away from that place. They'll steal your truck, steal your truck, your trailer, everything that you got.
You know what's crazy? I mentioned in today's vlog last night as I'm driving because I picked up my load yesterday in Olive Branch, Mississippi, which came up here to Toledo. You have to take 40 all the way to Nashville, come north. But my tablet the whole time was saying I-40 danger, theft alert at truck stops, I-40 up to Nashville. So it was trying to tell me not to stop on I-40 anywhere. But
so it sounds like 18's got a little experience. Memphis is the place or the play.
Memphis is the play.
So Lance Calhoun says, I never see any of those lizards, but I shut down early. Scott McCowan, hello, everybody.
Hey, buddy. Welcome.
Tommy, Oklahoma City, the TA, when you first row into city limits. Life says
I've only been through Oklahoma City a couple times, but I haven't stopped there any. Haven't had to.
$40, get what you're looking for. 54 people in here tonight. Gary Thompson. Lizards are usually in Florida. Some are bigger than others. Ain't that the truth? No.
If I do that, okay. Just do what I want. Just do what I say, okay? We'll see what happens. All right, that truck's ready, so let me get pulled up. All right, so you're there. Howdy. Let's see.
Who's talking to you?
Huh?
Who's that talking to you? Is that your video or something you're looking at?
Oh, I'm editing. Yeah. Sorry.
You're editing while you're doing a live show.
Well, you're reading all the fucking comments, so I can still listen. I gotta get up at 4:30 again in the morning. I gotta get up in the morning. So
hey, I'm not mad at you.
Nope, you're right.
I'm not mad at you like you were earlier.
Yeah, I'm never mad.
Jay Square said, wife and I ran 1,200 miles in 22 hours, left Laredo, Texas on Friday day, and go to Decatur, Illinois yesterday morning. That's some hauling some butt.
Yeah, I watched that video today, and I was like, "Holy crap!" I was like, "Let me think about it. We might be on the same path." And I realized, no, he's already in Decatur. I was like, "Well, no path there." So I'm always trying to figure out where I can meet up with some of my people out here.
So Tommy Creamer says, around here where I live, the lizards are corn fed.
Hey, they might be the good ones. Might be the good ones.
So your mom's favorite railroader, Poppy, is still at JB Hunt. I don't want to go over a lot of his stuff that's going on, but he's going to come back on a video here real soon.
All right, we're here. He's going to what? Come back on video.
Yeah, he's going to start doing videos later. He's going to come on.
Oh, God.
Best place to get yourself a lizard is at a local chicken strip. At your local chicken strip, and they probably have a 2-piece version in a 2-in-1 today, and you can get it.
2-piece and a biscuit.
Did you see that? And you can get you, he said you can get you a lady boy.
Oh, Lord have mercy.
That's funny.
Golly, man. All right, do that. All right, so I think it's edited down. I just got to go in there and I'll trim the clips. Everything is imported now. I just got to trim the clips in a little bit. I don't like Laredo. Laredo is like god awful. I mean, I was down there, like the first time I was down there, it was cool because I got to experience it. But once you experience it once, you don't want to go back. I don't like Laredo.
Well, so back to J Square here. Well, when you were in Olive Branch, you were about 45 from my house. Did you know that, country? J Square?
I didn't know you lived down that way. I picked up the Milwaukee Tools. Hey, well, at least we heard you. Well, now we see.
Did you see him disappear? Did you see how quickly he disappeared? It was kind of like a horror movie. Did you see that?
Shut the fuck up. I know what you're doing.
Did you see
I know what you're doing. I know what you're doing. Stop.
Did you see that? I mean, he just.
I know what you're doing. Stop. Man.
Scream. That was funny, man. How did you do that? That's funny, man.
And let the shit show begin.
And let the show begin. Ain't true.
That's true.
I subscribed to KO the other day. Oh, here comes Stephen Love. Stephen Love's coming in a little fashionably late.
Well, hell, I took him out of the damn tile and everything. Okay.
What time is it? 7:31?
7:30. Wow. Maybe he thought it was 8 o'clock.
Maybe I told him a different time zone.
That ain't my problem. 7 o'clock Eastern.
Oh, well, maybe it's yeah. He's got to realize he's Central Time, baby. That's all right. If he's coming in, That's okay. I'll fix it up. Can I?
Oh, you know what? He is Central Time if he lives in Pensacola area.
Yep, he's Central.
I mean, it's in the community post and everything else. Here he is, man. Hang on a second. We'll get him on.
All right.
There you are.
Hey, sorry I was late. I was at Golden Corral with my wife and kids, and time got away from me.
Yeah. Tell us everything.
Hey, I'm literally outside the Golden Corral. You see the sign?
I see that.
Okay, then.
You wanna reschedule? Because kind of we had mine, right? You want to reschedule, and I mean you can hang out with us for as long as you want, but you want to reschedule for like a full proper show next week or something?
We got time. My wife already knew what I was doing. She was one reminded me I had lost track of time, so she already knew I was gonna be doing.
Well, then do us a solid, would you?
Turn your phone sideways.
Turn your phone sideways. Yeah. Now you full screen, baby. Now you're a YouTuber. I keep
forgetting I do that.
Yeah. How you doing, brother? You doing good?
Yeah, man. You know, life could be better, of course, but I ain't one to complain.
I can agree with that.
Yeah, we can always be better for sure. But yeah.
Give us some word on Mercer, man. Everybody wants to know about Mercer. Anybody wants to know here? I know they can watch your channel, and please, by all means, go ahead and put your channel on the screen there for comments and stuff.
How do I do that? I'm new to this and all that.
You know what? I'll put it in the.
I'll find it for you guys.
All right.
Not doing anything else better.
So tell us about Mercer, man. How's it going out there? You've been there,
Uh,
what, about 30 days or so? 2 months?
yeah, about 3 weeks, going on 4 weeks now.
Okay.
Tomorrow make 4 weeks. Man, it's actually been great. Um, things were looking a little shady at first when, everything happened with Boyd or whatever. But nah, man, Mercer's been it's been great. I haven't done anything other than like $2 a mile. I think maybe the lowest load I possibly did was about 196, and that was kind of what I called like a fuel money load. It was just getting me from an okay area to a good area.
Okay.
But
Yeah.
no, Mercer's been great. The pay's been great. Of course, you get paid every other day. Like I deliver a load Monday, I'll either get paid by Monday night or Tuesday morning. Um, Freight's been good. I mean, they have a load board, all that stuff. Everybody knows that. But my coordinator is so good, I never need to even get on the board. Because by the time I'm already finding a load, she's already calling me about that same load. So, no, man, Mercer's been great. I have zero complaints so far.
Hey, who was your recruiter? You remember?
Uh, it was a guy named Liam. I can't remember his last name, but it was a guy named Liam.
I was
Great guy.
talking.
He kept assuring me that I was going to get in no matter what. Despite what happened with Boyd, he just kept assuring me, and sure enough, he got me in.
Good. I was that close. Where am I? Yeah, that close. Almost signed. The last second, and I told her I was like, I got a weird feeling about this. Here's why. I think we should just pull the plug. I was like, I'm telling you, I was one more yes of saying, okay, I'll be there Monday.
Yeah, I remember you making a video about why you chose not to go.
Yeah, man, I was so close. Do you remember when we met? Right? Where was it? Somewhere in
Yeah,
Indiana at a
I think
Love's. I walk across the store. I'm like, yo, Love. He looked at me like, what?
no, it wasn't even that. Remember, I was behind. I think I was behind you in line, and you were leaving. You were checking out as I was like in line to get to check out.
I think it was like one or the other. Either I was walking in and you were pulling to the register, or I had just checked
Yeah,
out and I was walking past you. One or the other.
yeah, it was
Yeah,
it was like that, and then we ended up talking again once we got outside because you were in the fuel aisle.
yeah. We talked. I don't know, good 10, 15 minutes or so. But I remember. Oh hell, I forgot where I was going with that story, but I had a reason. It'll come to me in a little bit. I promise. It'll come to me. It'll come back to
That's
me.
all good.
But I put your channel up in the chat. Um,
Appreciate the shout out.
I got it on your side as well too, Fly Rabbit. So
Cool, cool,
Yes, sir.
cool.
Let me
What
get
you
some of
guys
these
got going
comments.
on? What did I miss?
just
Not much of anything, just answering comments.
Yeah, it's usually our first 15, 20, 30 minutes of us talking about our weeks and bullshitting, yelling at each other, and then reading comments. And that's why it's called the shit show, baby. That's why it's called the shit show.
All right, I can get with it.
Anybody got questions for Love? He's a flatbed driver at Mercer now. Now, when I talked to Love initially, I was like, I think people would like to hear his story because I mean, from the time that I've known him, I don't know where he was prior to that. I know he went to Schneider. He was at Schneider. And this is like the last year and a half, I think all this happened. He went from Schneider to JB Hunt to decide to go to Flatbed, went to Boyd, went to Shelton for
Right.
a while, and now he went back to Boyd, and now he's over at Mercer. There was a lot of shit happening. That's been about 18 months or so. That timeline sound accurate? About 18 months, roughly,
uh, yeah,
or
roughly. Yep.
less? So I mean, I think this. I don't know this. I don't know your story much before because usually when I meet somebody or when I run across someone on YouTube, I'll start watching them from that point of their life. I don't really go earlier. So anything you want to talk about your experiences? I mean, you've left each time I know to for progression to do what's best you
Of
think for
course.
you and your family and so forth. But
And
just
and
talk about
let's
that
go.
whole transition process for you.
Yeah, no problem. All right, so yeah, so I started my trucking career at Covenant Transport actually. Started there. No, that's over in Chattanooga, Tennessee. Did a little bit of team driving until me and my teammate kind of got into it. He was an older gentleman. Like I'm new, and at that point, he had already had 10 years in the game. He was trying to tell me what to do instead of sleeping until his turn to drive. Um, so we kind of had a little spat, and he actually abandoned me at a truck stop in Idaho. I went into the truck stop to go
Abandoned
get
you.
snacks.
Holy
Yes.
shit.
I went into a truck stop to, go get snacks and stuff because it was just one of his fuel stops. But I woke up and went into the store to get some stuff. And as I was getting up to go out the truck, he bumped into me. And before I swing at an old man, and no offense to older gentlemen, I said, I'm going to get off this truck. So I got out the truck and went on in the store. I come back out. He had put my stuff out and left.
Holy
Uh,
shit.
So yeah, that sucked. Other than that, I did a little dedicated account for Covenant. Once I got back to the terminal, after I had to catch the Greyhound, and that was a 3-day bus ride. Got back to the terminal. I did a Family Dollar account for a little while, so I did that. If you know anything about those accounts, you know they're box out the box. You're throwing them, you're slinging boxes.
Yeah, you're unloading, yeah.
Right, and if your backup game isn't on point, you're gonna tear something up. Because some of
I
those
did
places
Dollar
got the
General
blinds.
for a while, so I know what you're
Yeah,
talking
you
about.
know.
Yeah.
But Dollar General is a lot easier because y'all
Hell,
have
I
those
went.
rotainers.
Well,
I
with Dollar
pulled into a
General, it's a lot of blindside backing with Dollar General here down in the South. So
Definitely.
Hell, I
And
pulled
I'm
into a
from the
Dollar
South. I'm
General
from
store one
Mississippi.
time down in Florida just to turn around because I made a wrong turn. I had to back out into the main road just to get out because there wasn't enough room. I couldn't imagine having a dock in there all the damn time.
So with that Covenant situation, did anything happen to your team driver? Did they fire him, suspend him, or he just went and got another teammate and just kept it pushing?
At that point, I think most of his experience was with Covenant. So at that point, it was kind of like a tenured situation. So he was quote unquote disciplined, but he wasn't terminated, but he ended up leaving anyway.
So
It was
much
one of those
for a godly
situations
company,
where,
boy.
yeah, it was one of those situations where instead of firing him, he resigned, kind of thing. So he left. And I think from
Yeah.
last I had heard about him, he ended up going to Swift or something. But
Of course it did.
right. So after Covenant, I left and went to Total Transportation out of Mississippi. They're like an affiliate of US Express. Drove for
So does
them
that
for 2.
so does
No,
that mean they're
Total's
with Swift now?
Swift. Yeah,
I guess
Total
yeah.
Swift. Yeah,
Yeah,
Total's
because
part of
Swift
Swift
bought.
now.
Yep.
Swift bought them?
Yep.
Swift bought US last year.
Yeah.
Oh wow, I
So
didn't know that. So that
yeah.
means they bought. That means they own Total Transportation because
Total
Yeah.
and variant too.
And
And
Variant,
Variant.
US
Yep.
Express,
oh wow, yeah.
Abilene, a whole bunch of companies, man.
Oh wow, I didn't know that.
Yep.
So yeah, I was there for 2 years. I was a trainer at Total. I loved my time there. I only left Total because I ended up buying a truck. I bought my first truck from LRM out of Pompano Beach, Florida. I bought a 2015 Freightliner, and I ended up going to Landstar. Worked at Landstar for a year, got a safety award and all that stuff there. Landstar was amazing, and obviously this was during COVID time, so we all know the rates were booming. You know, $3-4 a mile was easy pickings out there, and I was doing like FEMA loads constantly. So, money was easy. After that, and my truck crapped
Well,
out on me after spending $30,000 on it. I went to Hirschbach.
okay, so the reason you left Landstar was because of the truck crapping out and you didn't have any more money to get another one at the time?
Oh no. The reason I left Lanstar, I made so much money, I had got my own authority. So I
Okay, so
started
you went
working
out
for.
on your own authority for a while. Gotcha.
Yeah, I had my own authority for like a year and a half. But then that truck crapped out on me July of 2000, actually on the 4th of July of 2022. So then I went to Hirschbach, was doing refrigerated there. They would never get me home. So I made the worst mistake of my trucking career, and I went to Super Ego. Do not ever do that
Listen,
in your life.
we've all made mistakes before, man. It's
Don't ever
okay,
make
man.
that
We've all
mistake.
made those mistakes.
Don't ever make that mistake. I would rather you strap a load to your back and haul it down the street on your feet than to ever haul a load for them.
I tell
They
you what,
stole
Steven,
they
they,
stole
they,
some
they
of my checks
stole.
from me. They
Oh,
literally
I've heard that.
stole.
Give us the
They have
rundown on Super Ego, man.
Hang on here. Go ahead. Go ahead.
they literally, like, for example, when I did decide to leave Super Ego and I was going to go back to Hirschbach because they offered me like an account to get me home, which they lied about that too. But um my last check with Super Ego, my check before last was supposed to be $542.17. I remember exactly. They deposited it into my account that Friday, and I was supposed to start Hirschbach that Monday. So I came to them that Friday. I returned the truck, returned the permit book, returned the keys to them at their terminal, Super Ego's terminal. And that Monday, they tried to withdraw my check back out of my account.
Hell,
Mind you,
companies aren't usually set up. Companies usually aren't set
give
up
me
that
my
way. They
last
can't.
check.
Like I said, they
They
can't
can.
withdraw. They're not set up.
They can. I had to call my bank and I had to do a stop pay. They tried to reverse the payment.
Holy
I had to
crap!
pay. I had to pay my bank $30 to do a stop pay and reverse that payment.
Yeah, that's crazy. I've heard those stories before from many of the Super Ego
I'm part of
drivers.
the class action
They're
lawsuit.
all part of the YouTube. All the YouTube community on Super Ego is not very nice or friendly.
Whatever
But
you
let me
hear about
ask
Super
you,
Ego, it is true.
when you were there, did they try to convince you to cook your clocks, so to speak?
Yeah, of course. Like that. Like it's not a matter of convincing. I'm not. You're definitely not wrong, but I'm gonna clarify that it's not a matter of convincing. They run you that way. They book your loads that way. For example, like let's say you just delivered to Tampa, Florida, and you know you only have 2 hours left on your clock. They would
Uh-huh.
have already booked you another load that picks up 5 hours away. Mind you, you got 2 hours left on your clock. And then they will cook your clock, as you just said. And now you all of a sudden you got a fresh 10. But you're
Yeah,
like,
they
well, I
go in
need
there
to
and
do my
adjust.
34-hour reset. Yeah. They'll be like, you can even tell them that, well, I need to do my 34-hour reset. Okay, they'll call you back in 5 minutes. Boom, you got a fresh 70 now.
What?
So it's not a matter of you even wanting to do it as a driver, because I get it. Some drivers will do it and they try to be a little greedy. But no, they book your loads that way, so you have to run that way.
So you don't get no choice in your loads when you say they just book your loads that way.
You
They
didn't
don't
at
give you.
first. From what I heard now, Super Ego has a load board app you can choose loads from. But what a lot of truck drivers make a
I call
mistake
it a
at,
load suggestion forum. If you if you
it,
ask me, it's just
right,
like the Swift one.
it's forced non-forced dispatch. That's what it is.
Mm-hmm.
It,
So let me read his comment real quick. You can get on. Your
okay.
buddy Flying Patty says, when I hear Super Ego, I get an image of the Zelensky thieves. Ukrainian president Zelensky.
Well, tell you what, hang
Not
on.
Lithuania,
Go back
Ukraine.
to Rick Pig's comment. I know you've been scrolling through them. We was gonna kind of wait for. I was gonna wait for the ego talk to stop and have love pause for a minute so you can go do your comment thing. And we got because that's a big part of our show. People ask us questions,
Oh
and
yeah, bound for the
yeah.
questions.
So
I answered the question in the comments.
don't then you're taking content from us by doing that.
Yeah, pretty much. You need to stop doing that, man.
Yeah, I'm on for the questions.
You're
Bring
up
them
here,
on.
not down there. Stay out
Well,
of
I
the
know
comments.
Rick Pig was asking. He's thinking about getting in the truck, and how many miles do we average a week?
Well,
Well, it's not about
with
miles over
flatbed,
here.
Yeah, I was gonna say for us, it's not really about mileage; it's about rate. Now, as a
It's about
company
rate and
driver,
revenue.
yeah,
yeah,
company drivers are more concerned with miles, and even with flatbed, we do even less miles than van because
yeah,
usually the rate and the labor makes up for the miles.
yeah, and I think if he's going company, then depending on what your rate is, you want minimum 2,500. Because hell, when I first started at Schneider as a company driver, I started at 46 cents a mile, and if I was doing 2,500 miles a week, I was still taking home $1,000 a week, which for me starting out, I felt pretty good. Then of course, after the first year, I was up to like 54 cents a mile, which still wasn't great. But then 3 months later, I got my own truck because I wanted to do my own shit. So
So, back to the Super Ego. What kind of truck did you get when you were there, and did you have problems with that truck, or was it a pretty decent truck?
When I was there, I had a blue. It was a 2019 International, raised roof. It had maybe 400,000 miles on it. Payment was actually really, really low.
With a Cummins?
Uh, Payment was $300 a week, which is really low for a 2019 truck.
Mm-hmm.
But the truck had a transmission problem. You could be driving and your truck would slip you into neutral. I don't know.
How
I
long
never
were
noticed
you
that.
with Super Ego?
3 weeks.
Was it
So
a
that's how long
Cummins
it
or
took.
was it a 826?
So what?
Was it a Cummins or was it an 826?
It. I don't think it was a Cummins. So it had to be a Packard.
Was it
Hey,
red?
Steve.
Was the
Hey,
engine red?
Well, if
hold
it's
on,
an
hold on,
international, it's not.
hold
It
on.
wouldn't have
Time
a
out for a
Packard.
second, guys.
All right,
Steve, what's
go
your
ahead.
wife? What's your wife's name?
It's Shaquanza. I had shared the link to her. She was asking could she watch. So I didn't
Oh,
know any other way to do it.
I got you.
So
She's
so you don't have to. You can block her out. She just wanted to watch it.
Oh no, you all you gotta do is just pull it
Blocker.
up on. Just yeah. I just want to know if she came into the backstage. I want to know if she needed to come on live or something.
No, she didn't need to come on
Okay.
live. She just wanted
Oh,
to.
She said,
you gave her the wrong link. You gave her the link to come to the
Oh,
stream. You didn't give her. Yeah, you want to give her the link to the YouTube channel.
give her the link to
Oh.
YouTube channel.
oh, I don't.
Trucking with the fly wrap.
I don't know, guys. My bad.
That's okay. Hey, she can get
You know,
backstage. She can hear us.
How do I do that?
It don't matter.
you know Country's channel, right? It's live on Country's channel too.
Ah.
Just go to YouTube, Country's YouTube channel. She can watch it live there.
Yeah, if she
Hold
wants
on,
to
let
see comments, she can go. She can go to one of the channels. But if she can hear us in the back, she can stay in the backstage and watch it up front. She got front row seats, baby.
Yeah,
VIP access.
passes.
Yeah, let me
That's freaking great. I love it.
let me see if I can find his channel, man.
James is like, who the hell is this? What?
Yeah, I'm
How'd
like,
you get here, you
who's-
hacker?
Hey, country, what's your ad for your YouTube?
Country's life.
Man. All right, here we go. Let's see. All right, so I just shared that link to her, right?
Yeah, that'll take her to the page.
All right.
That's funny.
Sorry, y'all.
Don't even know my YouTube channel, do you? Don't even know Country's YouTube channel.
No,
And I know you don't
just
know
didn't like
AT's
his. I
channel.
didn't.
Everybody's
Yeah, I
channel's
just didn't know
a
his
little
like
specific
his
when it
act
comes to
thing.
the ad. Yeah.
Hey, quick announcement for
All
the
right.
chat.
Did I lose
Since
y'all?
we got
Okay.
Steven on here for Mercer Transportation. If you have any questions, go ahead and put them in the chat, and when they come up, we're going to ask him, and he'll give us the answers.
So Wesley, I put my phone number in the description all the time. If you want to know about F2F, please give me a call. I'll be more than happy to talk to you about it. Is F2F a good place to work? Yes, it's a great place to work. But right now, like I said at the beginning of the show, spot market is where it's at. It's not doing too great. Supposedly, it's coming up a little bit. But anyway, any questions, feel free to contact me. My number will be in the comments. So J Squared says you don't want to look at miles if you want to get your own truck. You want to concentrate on revenues, not miles. Jimenez says
100%.
he knew a guy that switched from Schneider for F2F and same pay, he said.
Well, and that's the thing, it's like it doesn't really matter where you go. I mean, right now the market's pretty average across the board for the most part. Now, some companies have better rates and better accounts, better contracts, so forth. But I think F2F has a wider range of opportunity over where I'm at, which is Schneider, because I'm stuck to the Schneider board only. F2F, you can go to spot market, like James says, even though it's rough. He's also got some coordinators who can help book him loads for him, so he doesn't have to be stuck. Yeah, so you don't have to be stuck on that damn board all day long trying to find a load. And that was one of my biggest things with Mercer when I was talking to him, is having someone who could keep an eye hawk on that board for me. But I also didn't like that first in, first out rule they have. I was always like, but I was always like, if I'm gonna book that load before you book it, then you ain't taking it back off of me. But they would.
So after Super Ego, what was your next venture after Super Ego?
Oh, and just to answer the person's comment real quick, yeah, Mercer pay is percentage. It's 75%.
Yep.
But
Gary
right, so,
Thomas said, Gary Thomas says, which option should I go with at Schneider Country, the air or percentage?
Oh, that's a coin flip because everybody who's on whatever board they are, they ride by it. And I'm on the all in. I'm on the air.
Yeah,
And I was
I did.
told
I
I
was on
can
the
get.
air also.
And I was told I can get up to 90%, sometimes down as low as 50%. Just don't really know. It depends on how Schneider is getting paid off that load, determines how they pay us out here. That's the
Aren't
way it
they
was
switching
explained to me.
to the new low board?
But then
anyways?
I have access to the new load board now. I just got it last night. But I've also been told on the percentage board that there are less loads available on the percentage board versus the air board, which is a fact. Because I got a buddy, Go Price, subscriber turned really good friend. He's on the percentage board because he wanted the peace of mind knowing he was getting at least 65%. But we do compare loads a lot, and he has less results than I do. So
Yeah.
you can switch. You can switch once in a year before you have to, or you have to wait a year and do it again. So
Yeah, I think Kendall ended up going percentage at one point. I
he
think to
did.
check it out.
He did towards the end of his Schneider career, and he said, "I ain't telling nobody. Me and you're the only ones that know." You probably knew too, but
Well,
he
yeah,
was telling me
obviously I
this.
knew.
Yeah, you and him are tight. Me and him are tight. So, but yeah, he's like, we knew. He's like, but I ain't telling nobody on YouTube. And I was like, okay. So we did comparisons often, and even when we did come across finding the same load, one time I'd be higher, next time he'd be higher. It honestly go all in personally because that's what I'm on, and I'm content with it. And even if you chose percentage, I think you'd be content with it as well. So just don't overthink it. Just pick one and work.
So Tommy Creamer has a question for you, love. He says, has the other guy ever met up with Super Trucker Dan while working at Mercer?
You came across him yet?
Uh, no, I haven't. I do watch his channel. Um, I haven't run across him yet. I've run across maybe one or two guys I think that does content for Mercer. I think there was another one like I think his name is like TAF Trucking, and there's another guy I think it was like Trucking with Ty, I believe. I've ran across them already, but I haven't ran across Dan.
Yeah, he's got that big old fancy. He just got a new step deck there last week. Why don't you do that? Why don't you go meet up
Yeah,
with
those are the
what's that flatbed company he deals with? Um shit. What's the name of that flatbed company? Come on, man. You flatbedder, you ought to know. Shit. Dorsey Trailers.
which one? What you talking about?
Yeah, Dorsey Trailers. That's the company. He gets his trailer from Dorsey. Dorsey.
Oh, okay, okay.
They give him trailers, and he like the one he just got. He didn't buy it, and it's not his to own. They giving it to him to use for however long, and then they'll give it back, and he'll get another one later on. So maybe they'll sponsor you.
Yeah, that's not bad. They probably do it just like a sponsorship thing, basically.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, maybe they'll sponsor you. Go get you a damn brand
I mean, the
spanking
trailer
new.
I got ain't bad. That I'm leasing for Mercer. It's only 2 years. It's $700 a month.
Yeah,
And
but you can't get much better than free, can
yep.
you? You can't beat
No,
free.
you can't. You can't. But compared to what some of those other Mercer trailers were going for, they were like $775, $750 a month for like 5 or 6 years. And I ended
Yeah,
up
and
getting one for 2 years.
that was also a big decision maker for me. They didn't have any dry vans that they would sell. They don't sell dry vans yet like they do, or at least dry vans like they do flatbeds now. They just don't have enough of them. So maybe if they change doing that, because I do want to get my own trailer, and a lease to own would be an ideal option for a decent company.
You want to lug around a big old orange trailer?
No,
Want to own one?
I don't. If I buy one, no, I don't want it to be orange. But when I buy my own, it'll be white and some blue, of course. Got to match Big Blue's colors.
All right, let's get back. Let's get back to Steven real quick.
Hang on. Am
After
I? Go
after
ahead.
Then they were trying to
Super
read a
Ego,
comment real quick.
there's
Go ahead,
more in the
James.
comments.
Go ahead, James. Do your job.
I'm
Go ahead,
trying
you're
to.
sexy.
You type A personalities.
We just brought you in, and your first comment was, "I tried to."
In my
Go ahead,
opinion,
read.
specialized stuff is the way to go, but I'm a little biased. Poppy's
Bro,
on here says, "What's up, guys?" Let me read the
what's up, Chris?
comments.
One at a
Brian
time.
just says,
You're just reading like a book.
Let him do his. Anyway, listen.
You can't expect to read a
Let's
list and
finish.
let us
Let's
not
finish
each.
Steven's story first.
D, you hang on. We got love for an undetermined amount of time because love loves us already. Okay.
All right.
Time to get trouble.
Would you like
Go
me
ahead.
to read the
All right.
comments, or are we gonna just do this?
Well, not like a book. We got to have a
Hey.
chance to respond. I wanted to say hi,
There's
Chris. How
nothing
you
to
doing?
respond to, but what's up, Poppy? You said hello, Chris.
Hey, yeah.
The shit show is in
Why
effect.
can't we
That's why
be
it's called a
Time to
shit
get
friends?
show. I was
rolling.
getting ready to
Why
say that.
can't we
Go ahead.
Brian
be
Jess says time to get
friends?
rolling.
All right,
Hush, or
Jess,
I'll
be safe,
mute
buddy.
you. Lance Calhoun said Landstar isn't that bad. Been there 4 years. Tommy said
Landstar's
Dorsey
amazing.
trailers.
Yeah. He was filling in my brain lapse. Yep.
Let me get some Kool-Aid over here. Gary Tomlin says that's what I'm thinking. Air sounds better to me than in the grand scheme. Got enough to worry about than trying to cut out percentage, fuel surcharge, ETC from loads. And
Exactly.
J Square's obviously laughing.
Yeah. All right, go ahead, D. Continue on with loving his pattern with questions you had. He done lost it because he's got us muted. All right, so you left Ego.
He's not
What'd you do
muted.
after Ego?
I never
He
muted
was
him.
talking. He was muted on his because he was talking to somebody. He muted his own mic. He's having a conversation personally.
He's not muted. I'm looking at the thing right now. It would show that he's muted if he was. It would show me that he was muted, but he's not muted. I'm telling you.
D, you gonna talk?
Okay.
See?
All right. So after
was.
Super Ego, right? What was the next venture after Super Ego?
After Super Ego, I actually went back to Hirschbach for a little bit. I stayed there, and then that's when I had bought my SFI truck. And of course, with that truck, I went over to Schneider.
Well, before we go back to the Schneider, Hirschbach, right? I got a couple questions for you about Hirschbach. Were you a company driver or were you leasing over at Hirschbach?
I was leasing over there.
The dollar fuel, is that a real thing or like?
Oh yeah.
99 cents.
What's the gist on that?
So not only is the dollar like 99 cent for fuel thing is real, you'll see it on your settlements. The reason they do that is because of the way that they buy their fuel. So they get like this ridiculous discount because of the way that they buy their fuel.
Mm-hmm.
And not only is that true, but you don't pay for DEF there at all. They completely.
But you don't get a fuel surcharge, though, do you?
Yes, you do. It's not.
They give you a
get
fuel
dollar
surcharge?
fuel and fuel surcharge. So people over there are supposed to be rolling in dough, then, right?
I can tell you. I'll show you where they get you. So
yeah, what's the caveat?
Not only is the fuel, like I said, the fuel is 99 cents. You don't pay for DEF. You also don't pay for reefer fuel. They cover reefer fuel and DEF completely. Where they get you
imagine them charging you for reefer. That'd be asinine to me.
Some companies do, but where they get you at is the truck note is extremely expensive. Well, I ain't gonna say extremely, but their truck notes when I was there at the time, they were about $650 to $750, which isn't terrible, but I guess all leases are terrible in somebody's eyes, right? But now those same leases, from what I hear, are averaging about 800 and up. And those truck lease terms, some can be high as 5 years. That's where they're really getting you at the end of the day. Plus, when you're not in when like me, I live in Florida. I'm not in a very reefer friendly place. So getting home for me was terrible. That was the only reason I really left Hirschbach, because even with that high truck note, I made good. Or as good as you can make leasing a truck. Mm-hmm. You know, I could make 15 here. I think my highest settlement at Hirschbach was 2,800. That was after all expenses. You know, I'm a rider. I can go when it's time to go, but I also have a wife and kids, so I'm going to go home. But my problem there is that I couldn't get home, and that's why I eventually left. And I bought my own, the SFI truck, because I wanted control of my destiny. When you've had your own authority before, the last thing you want to do is feel like you're being force dispatched. It's like
So
graduating high school and then they
So
send you back to kindergarten.
isn't like the Mercer thing? Isn't it like kind of like a forced dispatch situation? How they have it set up for you?
At Mercer?
They have you have the first in first out situation, and then you have coordinators as well, as well. Excuse me,
Oh
as
God,
well too.
no.
Isn't that like
Oh God, no. It's
comparatively the
not
same?
forced dispatch at all because you don't have to. You don't have to use your coordinator. You can actually get loads off of the dat load board. You just all you have to do is call the agent. Some of the loads that I have run at Mercer came off the dat load board. The
Hmm.
load, the load I currently have on me that I'm delivering tomorrow, it was a load of crane materials I picked up out of Brunswick, Georgia. That was off the dat load board. My coordinator took care of all that on the back end.
So when you get a load for yourself off the DAT load board, it doesn't go into the first in first out system, right?
It doesn't have to as long as that agent has multiples of that load. But they put
Okay.
like even that load board, like any agents, like most of the agents that you talk to aren't usually like freelance agents. Like you're not calling Country Life Transportation to get a load. You're calling a Mercer agent who posted that load board load.
Okay.
But usually
Okay.
when they post a load from the dat load board, they post multiples of that load. So you're never really seeing one of that load. So that first in, first out thing don't apply to that because there's so many of them.
Okay, got you.
Like you
So
may see a load and they'll post about 7 or 8 of them at one time.
okay, I
so
can understand it a little
I
bit
got a
better now.
question for you, Stephen. On the Hirschbach lease, um, I heard this and I don't know this, but it's just a lease. You could never own that truck. Is that correct?
It is. I don't know if you guys watch Cam the Trucker's page at any point, or if you've
I'm
ever
on
heard
there
of him. He
all the
does
time,
flatbed.
man. Yeah, I
He
know
was
what you're
with
Yeah.
talking about.
yeah, he was with Blair for a while. Me and him talk a lot through Instagram and stuff, but it would be what he would call a never lease. So yes, to
Okay.
answer your question, you will never own that truck. They are
But that's
nice
the way the
trucks.
lease is designed, though, right?
That's the way the lease. There you go. That's the
Yeah.
way the lease is designed.
So they
But
tell you up front you'll never own the truck.
they don't tell you up front, but if you listen to if you read the fine print is telling you you'll never own this truck.
So no
Um,
balloon payment, no nothing like that at the end of the
no, it
lease.
has a balloon payment.
So
It has a
five
balloon payment.
years. So 5 years, almost $1,000 a month, and still a balloon payment at the end.
Yep, you can still get
That's
hit with a balloon payment. You
crazy.
sure can. But even when I lease, like anytime I've ever leased, even with the SFI truck, the plan is never to own the truck. The only time I was trying to own the truck is when I got a truck from LRM because I got it from a
Mhm.
dealership. My plan is always to use the lease as a come up. The same thing I did at Boyd when I was leasing my truck there, and I made good money with that truck.
Boyd was where you went to after you was done Hirschbachen.
I, no, that Boyd was where I went to after I left. Well, I left Schneider, went to JB Hunt with the SFI truck, but I started catching the flatbed bug and decided I got curious enough, wanted to do flatbed. Had never done it before, so I turned my SFI truck back in to go do flatbed because you could do flatbed with a raised roof truck, but aerodynamics and all that wise, it's better to have a mid roof.
Mm.
So I turned it back in and went to Boyd and leased the truck there. And I was there for 10 months. I made good money. But but as guys may know, if you watched one of my last few videos, they had let me go over a DOT inspection, and Mercer picked me up, and that's where we are now.
So okay, before we get to that, right? Let's talk
All right.
about your Schneider experience. Tell us a little bit more about that.
All right. So Schneider was pretty cool. Of course, I did orientation in Charlotte, North Carolina. I had a pretty good coordinator or manager, whatever you want to call him at Schneider. I think his
BOR.
name was Joel or
The
Joel or
BOR, yeah.
something. Uh, and yeah, Schneider was pretty cool. That was where I really started doing like YouTube when I got the Schneider, and
Hmm. Was
it
it
just
a
kind
new
of blew
truck
up
or a
from there
used truck
because
that you had got?
I had a 2000. I think it was a 2022 Freightliner. It was that maroon cherry dark red color.
Uh-huh.
Um,
Yep.
it didn't. What? How many miles did it have on it? Maybe like 75,000 miles or something. Like
So pretty brand
it
new
was
still,
fairly
yeah.
new.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was fairly new. It was a good truck. The truck was in great shape. Didn't really have any issues out of the truck. Um, I just and I made good money at Schneider at first. The money was good. I mean, you're popping bottles, you're eating steak and lobster for dinner, lunch, and breakfast. I was doing good
With
there at
that
first.
high payments.
Fucking love it.
Those high
Popping
payments.
bottles, taking lobster. Yeah.
Yeah, you going to Memphis and hitting Lamar Avenue and pick you up a $40 special. I ain't doing that. My wife killed me. But and I almost forgot I sent her the link to the channel. Let me not make jokes
Yeah,
like that.
say look at
But
now you're telling yourself.
hell no, I love my life too much to do
So
that.
Snyder wasn't something to write home about. It was just run of the mill type deal. You made your
And the
money, you
thing
did
was,
your thing.
at first it was good money. I won't lie to you. At first it was good. Like
Mm-hmm.
if you started watching me and Kendall around the same time, the money was flowing. And obviously Kendall was making a lot more money there because he eventually bought his own truck. So he was definitely, turning numbers, even though a lot of other people weren't, because that SFI truck payment, if you sneeze too long, you just lost money on that sneeze. You probably
Man, I
lost
used to
$20.
sneeze about 5, 6 times at one point, so I know what you're
Man,
talking
so
about.
I feel for people in allergy season because if you're not moving, you're not making money. I promise you
Alex,
guys, you're not making
I
money
love
if
that.
you still. So it was good for about 3 months, especially once I got a hold of those Frito Lay lows. And current, you know what I'm talking about?
Yep. I
They're
know what you're talking
lightweight. They're
about too.
usually paying two. Sometimes they were paying $2.50 a mile. Like going over to
Yep.
Kansas, you could pick up at like Super Puff in Florida, in Perry, Florida. Some of the Wayfair lows out of Greensboro, North Carolina. Um, yeah, if you know the areas, the freight can be good. But because so many people caught on to where those Frito Lay lows were coming out of, the well
Yep.
dried up. And then obviously, so I didn't. So yeah, that's basically what eventually made me leave Schneider. It was because the well dried up. It got freight got slow, and it got to the point where you were searching 500-mile radiuses and there were no loads.
How much they charge you when you turn the truck back in?
They didn't. Well, they did, but I got money back from them. So, um, if I'm remembering correctly, SFI charges I think a $5,000 or $6,000 early termination fee.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
But I had about $6,000 to $7,000 in my maintenance account. Plus, I had money from my security deposit. So after they got through yanking all their fees, the cost to clean the truck up, put the truck back in, road condition. I think they said they had to buy a tire or something for the truck. I ended up getting a check from them for $471.
Hey, 400
So
bucks
as
is
long as you got
400 bucks.
enough cushion in your maintenance account, they'll pretty much owe you at the end.
Okay, so we go from Schneider, and then you got the flatbed bug, as you say. You went over
Yeah.
to Boyd. You bought a truck at that point, or you had leased a truck from Boyd?
Well,
No, I was leasing for Boyd for about 4 months, from January till May, and I had saved up enough money. Plus, I had finally got approved for my VA disability. So shout out to all the veterans. Veterans Day is tomorrow.
We
Um,
salute you, brother.
you know, go Army and all that. So I ended up saving up enough money, and then plus the VA finally approved my disability. So I got a nice little lump sum from them. So I said, screw it, time to boss up again, step back out there on faith, and I went and bought a truck.
What truck did you get?
I got a 2020 International,
Why the
LT
International?
625. Oh yeah, they run good. My truck run good. I get about 7.1 miles to the gallon or whatever. Um, Truck has had no issues. The only issue I have now is that my air compressor just went out a week ago, but I'm already getting that fixed now. So that's it. Other than, of course, you have wear and tear from tires and crap like that. But anyways, yeah. So I got that from Arrow Truck Sales out of Conley, Georgia, right near Atlanta.
Mm-hmm.
They wanted 11,000 down for it, but they had a special going on where they match you up to 4K. So whatever down payment you put down, they'll match you 4K. Well, up to 4K. So I put 7, they put 4 down. Boom, they made my 11,000. I'm out the door with the truck. Other than that, whatever down payment they tell you, that's it. You don't have to go there and be like, oh, we got tag title fees and any other fees. You pay your down payment, do some paperwork, you get your keys, and you get the hell out their face.
And then you leased it on to Boyd, right?
And then I had leased it on to Boyd, yes. So when I was
Okay.
leasing their truck, I was making 65%. But then I brought my own truck there, and then I was making 70%. And then I was also a trainer at Boyd, so I made an extra 5% while I had a student on the truck with me.
You were
So
training using your truck, the International?
yes, yeah, I was training
Okay.
using my lease truck, and I was training using the truck that I brought on. So I was making 75% while I had a student on the truck with me. Plus, I got $1,000 completion bonus for every student I graduated off the truck.
Okay. So pretty much Boyd is a starter company for
Boyd is
flatbedders.
definitely a starter company. They used to actually have a driving academy, so they used to actually teach people how to drive, actually get their teach people to get their CDL, and
Yep.
then take them through like very very beginner. But then they
Okay. So
stopped
it's a
doing
mix.
that.
So they got a mix between owner operators and company drivers.
Yes,
Yeah.
they definitely have a mix. They stopped doing that because people were getting their CDLs, going through their academy, getting the CDL with them, and then leaving and going to other companies. So kind of just using them to get their license, knowing that they didn't really want to do flatbed. They just did it to
Just
get
to
their
get the
license.
license. Yeah.
So they put it into the academy, but they were taking new students fresh out the gate. Like you could have just got your CDL yesterday, you could get hired today. They just stopped doing that back in August because too many new students were coming in and wrecking the trucks. Like,
Let
and
me
they
Mm.
ask you,
had
do
just
you
got a
think, Scott, do
they
you
had
think
just
there's
got a
still
new
a
fleet of 2025 trucks in, and guys were coming in and rolling those trucks over.
I'm gonna ask you, do you
Things
think they're
ain't
still
cheap.
considered do you think they're still considered a new driver company for even after the new purchase and the new company took over and all that good stuff?
Yeah, so like a company like this Canadian company, I believe, called TFI took them over from I guess
TFI.
Dasky owned them originally, and then TFI took them over. Um, but no, they're not beginner friendly anymore. Like I said, now you have to have I think 6 months of experience to go to Boyd now. It
Yeah,
doesn't have
so
to
So,
be
but
flat.
they do still they do still have company drivers on, right?
They do still have company drivers, but now you have to have 6 months experience to go there.
yeah, that's what I
Okay.
was wanting to clarify for the viewers. Boyd is no longer a beginning flatbedder company.
No longer, no, because of just the
Right.
high rate of accidents that was happening.
Yep. I remember you saying that.
Is it okay?
But
They
it
may
doesn't
not
have to
be a
be six
beginning
months
company
flatbed
anymore,
experience,
but
though.
can you go there with no flatbed experience, but you have
Yes,
experience driving trucks?
yes, you can go there
Okay.
with just driving experience. It doesn't have to be flatbed, and they'll put you through, an orientation or whatever.
Okay.
Um, so like you'll do 4 days in the class, and then you'll do 3 days at their load securement yard. They'll show you how to, secure coils, tarp and untarp, fold your tarps. They'll show you how to secure different stuff like pipes and lumber, all this other typical flatbed stuff. And but yeah, regardless of what happened with me and Boyd, Boyd is still a great company for anyone who is looking to get into flatbed. Flatbed can be like a scary thing because when I first got into it, I got my first load. I even made a video about that where I was just like, screw this truck. I wanted to just leave it. I literally walked away from the truck because I could not tarp that load to save my life. I didn't know what the hell I was doing. The wind was blowing.
Oh.
Oh, we lost him.
Oh man, I hope his phone didn't die.
Well, Poppy wanted to make an announcement. He says he
You
doesn't
already
care.
made
He's
the
pretty
announcement,
excited.
didn't you?
No, I haven't. Remember? I haven't
What
been
is-
getting it.
What are you trying to say? What?
Poppy's coming over to F2F, not next week, but the week after. He wanted me to go ahead and make the announcement.
Oh, he made it official. Great. Okay.
Yeah, he's excited, wanted to make it official.
There
you
he
are.
is.
Go
There
ahead,
he
finish
is.
up.
Finish
You're
what you were
back.
saying. We lost like 10 seconds of you there.
We lost like the last 30, 40 seconds of you. And now we can't hear you. We can't hear you. Yeah. No. Leave the lobby. Go back to backstage, and James bring you back in.
No, I lost him.
Yeah,
You'll have to come back on. It's cold up here in Pennsylvania, fellas.
So does that mean that Poppy's going to be back on the lives again?
I don't know.
I don't know. The ranting and the scanting.
I don't know. I don't know if he wants to come back into YouTube or not. We haven't really talked a whole lot about it. I think so, but I don't know for sure. There he is. Can we hear you? Steve?
No, we can't. Check your mic. See if you're not muted.
Go into the settings and check your microphone.
Zulu time. You're welcome, brother. I don't remember, but you're welcome.
Hang on, Steve. I'm going to send you a link again, buddy.
Check your settings and make sure your mic is working before you come into the lobby. Check, see if that'll help you, Steven.
There, I sent you another link. I'm going to pull you out and come into the new link. There you go. You there? Something on your end, buddy. Check your settings. Check the settings on the app.
Make sure you're not connected to the car. You know, the wife and stuff might be in the car and got the Bluetooth on, you know. Maybe that's what's going on.
Then we'd be hearing her. So 18, did some research on Lanstar. I think you said was right regarding buy a lease on it and your own authority. Thanks for the info.
You coming over to Lanstar soon, Zulu? Is that what you're insinuating?
You never know. It might be.
All I know is these people at the pretzel place here better get their butts in gear, man. Going to get me some overtime money here. Detention pay now.
Well, they ain't got you unloaded yet?
It's not unloaded. This is just getting the load ready. Had an open window from midnight last night to 5 p.m. today, which is kind of strange. But it was supposed to have been ready, and they're telling me it's going to be ready before midnight tonight. I'm like, well, just to let you know, it delivers in Charlotte at 6:30 in the morning, and it's literally 500 miles. I said it's going to be late. Big Eye, what's up with JB Hunt? What would you like to know about JB Hunt? I'd be more than happy to tell you. And Poppy probably would too. I know they did a pay cut.
He's going to have a lot to say once he gets over to F2F.
They had a big pay cut, 10 to 15% on the drivers of all the loads that they have. That and loads canceled. They lie about shit. Trying to find my path. My original question was, why not just run under your own authority? 18 made a case why he chose Lanstar. Everything 18 said was right on point and made sense.
All right.
You're here and you wanted to know, that's all. Yeah. I'm sure once Poppy comes over here in a week or so, we're probably going to do a live about it. I'm sure he's going to have a lot of things to say. He's got some inside sight on some stuff that I don't have. Check the community board every so often. You okay back here, country?
Oh yeah, I'm. There's been no gap, so I haven't used my A personality.
A personality.
So I'm working on an end screen for my channel.
We still got
Speaking of
42
which,
people on here, but nobody's
I do
making
have
any
a
comments.
video that'll be posted tomorrow. I just need to finish doing my other jassy wassy with it.
Yeah,
But
I finished editing mine. It's rendering right now. So while it's rendering, I'm working on
yeah,
an end screen
I
outro.
was gonna do my rendering, but while we're on live, it's not. It'll probably just screw up my laptop. And then on top of that, I was having Wi-Fi issues. So when we're done tonight, I'll go ahead and finish that up, and
Yeah,
you guys
I've
will have a video tomorrow to watch. So
well, good. I I've learned I don't use my phone. I learned I guess last week. I'm like, why haven't I been using my damn tablet? So I use my tablet now to be in the live with y'all. That way my phone's free and my laptop's free. And
All right, I have returned.
we can
there
There
you
hear
you
you
are.
go.
again, man.
He
There we
fixed
go.
it. He fixed it. Good job, buddy.
All right.
What happened?
Sorry, y'all. I had to make y'all miss me a little bit.
Of course,
All
brother.
right, so let's finish this up. We have some more comments we need to get to before we get back to asking them some questions.
Just one more. Oh, did you read the one from Lance Calhoun? Is it Landstar has
Lanstar,
contracted freight?
a lot of it people with their own
Right.
authority don't have access to.
So Tommy Creamer says you had a truck stop, country. Looks like daylight behind you.
I am at a truck stop, but
That's a white trailer.
I got my over here. Well,
Yeah.
I'm under a parking light, and that's just a white trailer. I'm under one of the lot lights, so yeah, it's like right there is a street light.
And he's looking for a lizard.
Oh yeah, that's exactly what I'm looking for. Here,
Nah, see, y'all have that
lizard.
backwards. Y'all have that backwards. He is the lizard. They pay for his services.
Man, love.
Well,
I
damn,
mean,
man, country.
we
I
had
know you
something.
got it like that, big boy.
We had something tight, bro. Now you want to share it with the world? Damn.
One more comment here, and then we'll get back to Steven.
All right.
With freight prices being what they are, would this be a good time to get trained and get a company job with one of these big outfits? I've never been a company guy, and I'm not a big fan of being a company guy. I would just go straight to lease, and I think things are going to change. And you guys can make your comments all you want, but
Well,
I just think you're wasting time.
Are you a current trucker, or perhaps being in one of the yards full time to get trained and get a company? Listen, if you're brand new to trucking, definitely go company. Go company. Don't put your
Always
ass under
go
a
company
lease.
first out, but you always got to ask yourself, what's the end goal? What's your intent? Are you just here to collect a check, or are you trying to do something a little bit better?
You are there to learn. You need to learn the industry and let that make your decision on whether you want to be in the industry.
Hey, coming all the way from the Dominican Republic. Look how far
What
we
up?
going, man. We're going worldwide, man. Look at that.
What up, DR?
Buddy,
DR in the house.
we're better than Pitbull, man.
Man, we're
Worldwide.
international, baby. And this the worldwide.
And let's see. So where we? Was JB? Okay, go ahead. Do your thing.
Do your thing.
I was at JB Hunt. They fired me. I probably still would have been there. I'm glad now I paid my truck off with this company now. What company are you with, Wesley? And I agree with you about JB. Highway trucker.
He's under the light.
All right, Steven. Let's get to his questions.
We know he's
Steven?
paranoid about people backing into him, so that's a fact right there. All right, so Steven, Boyd. After Boyd, okay.
Well, hang on. Before you keep going with Boyd, I know you're a Boyd already, but he didn't. He went somewhere before, right after he left Schneider before Boyd. You missed the company.
No, he went from Schneider to Boyd.
No, he did not.
I went from Schneider to JB Hunt.
Oh,
yes.
JB Hunt. Okay,
yes.
okay. But we didn't hear about JB Hunt. Okay, well, tell us about JB Hunt, man.
All right, so yeah, of course, I had my same SFI truck. I took it over to JB Hunt. JB Hunt works well with SFI, so transitioning your truck over there, I think you have to just pay like that $500 transfer fee to do so.
Yeah.
And So transferring over to JB Hunt's a smooth transition. When you have an SFI truck, insurance is cheaper than Schneider's insurance. Um, their load board is better. Then I made way more money at JB Hunt. I was happy at JB Hunt. I didn't leave JB Hunt because I was disgruntled or, you know, it wasn't no loads, it wasn't no freight, that typical trucker thing. I left there because I wanted to do flatbed,
You had an
and
itch to
JB
do
Hunt,
flatbed.
JB Hunt does some flatbed. They do, but they didn't have a enough freight for my area living in Pensacola, Florida, for me to be able to do that. That's why I left. But JB Hunt does do flatbed. It's very limited though. So that was
Uh,
why I left JB Hunt. It wasn't because I wasn't happy or the rates. It was simply because I wanted to do flatbed and I couldn't do it there.
so you had experience at Landstar before. Why didn't you go back to
Yeah,
Landstar
I
and
was
do flatbed at
Landstar for a
Landstar?
year because I didn't have experience. I didn't have the experience to do flatbed. With Landstar, you have to have experience you have to have at least a year of experience in the field you're trying to do. So like I was
No,
able to go
well,
to Landstar and do
they
dry
have it
band
set
because
up
at that
where
point I
you
had
can
years of experience.
if you don't have the experience, you have to go take the class in in uh in Fort Worth.
Yeah, they have like that the low securement class.
Yeah.
Yeah, they have a low securement class, but and I think last I heard about it, I think you have to. It's like a 2-3 day class, like most places do.
Yep.
But
Yeah, it's a couple
one
day
thing about
class.
Landstar is their hiring process is so long. That was another reason why I didn't jump right back into them.
Yeah.
The hiring process can take 1 to 2 months.
Oh, we know.
When I
We know.
originally went to Landstar, I applied there in December of 2019. I didn't get hired till February of 2021.
Yeah. Usually
2020.
what I've been told is um if you're trying to come to Landstar now, like at the end of the year, is usually the slowest time that they have. It usually takes a lot longer than it would any other time of the year
Yeah.
to come on over here to Landstar. So
Yeah.
yeah.
But yeah,
So
basically,
I
even
get
now, if
I
you're
can get
trying to
that waiting part. I can get that sitting and waiting part. Nobody wants to sit and wait. Everybody we trying to get to that money, right? So
right. Plus, I didn't want to take that SFI truck to Landstar. That the truck payment is definitely doable, so I'm not going crap on SFI. If you're running and you have the means, the freight areas or wherever company you're at, you could definitely make the money out of the truck. I did, Kendall did, Country's doing it. But if you don't know where to go, that truck will bury you. It will
mm-hmm.
bury your career. And I wasn't going to
Fact.
take that truck with me to Landstar. So I said
I
if I
can
ever went
respect
back
it.
to Landstar, I was coming with a dealership truck. And Mercer took me in faster than what Landstar would have.
So
And
you had applied
I
to
just
both at the
as a
same
shot in
time?
the dark. Hmm?
You had applied to both at the same time after you were unfairly dismissed at Boyd?
No, I applied to Mercer like the same Monday. I was dismissed at board on a Monday morning. And by 12 o'clock Monday afternoon, I applied for Mercer. They called me back about an hour and a half later. And they were like, hey, go ahead and send us your stuff. I'm like, I told you guys what happened to me at board. Are you still trying to hire me? They was like, yeah, send us a copy of the inspection. So I sent them a copy of the inspection. It was like, well, okay. It was like, you still coming? I'm like, okay. So like they looked at me like, is this all you got? Like we've seen worse, basically. And they were like, come on. They were like, we don't judge by that. And they said that yeah, you did get some CSA points, but they said because you're not under your own authority, your own MC number, those points did go to the company, but they don't go to you. Because they even went and pulled like my CDL and my PSP or whatever they call it, and
uh-huh.
nothing's on there. So they even pulled it and showed me. They ran my stuff like any other do when you do it through driver post. Of course, they're gonna run all your stuff. They ran all our reports and they're like, well, we don't see anything, so we don't see a
So
reason why you
Boyd
can't come.
got hurt because you messed up their CSA score. Basically, that's what happened.
Basically, that's what happened. And of course, you mess up their score, you got to get up out their face. And it just sucks because they disrespected me in the way that they let me go.
No warning,
Uh,
nothing, no coaching whatsoever.
Yeah,
no,
but here's the thing about that, love. No company's going to give you a heads up saying, "Hey, we're firing you." They're just not going to, especially in a type of industry like this. What's he going to do? We call him on the phone. We're going to fire you. What's he going to do with our equipment? You know, they're going to make sure they get their shit back. I know it sucks, but yeah, no one's going to give you a heads up. Hey, we're firing you. Not even at a fucking
And
McDonald's. They're
that's
going to walk
why
up.
I
never
always preach that you should never give a 2 weeks notice because they're not
Yep.
gonna give it to you
Yeah,
anyway.
I don't. Yeah, I don't either.
no,
Sometimes
no,
you gotta
I
play tit
don't
for
do
tat
that.
in this industry, and that's just all that it is. It's no harm, no
No,
foul. It's
it was
just business.
for me. The disrespect was simply because obviously I did a lot of YouTube videos for Boyd. I made them a lot of money during my time there. I had actually referred them almost 20 to 25 drivers. So I
Okay.
gave them a lot of business. Like my YouTube channel grew past theirs. So I had more subscribers on my YouTube channel than their official channel. I
I think
grew
most
them
YouTube
up
channels
like
go
that.
past by these mega carriers anyway.
Right.
Yeah, I blew Schneider out
But
the
that's
water.
because
I think.
people know they'll hear the truth from a driver than they would from some recruiter at their company.
Absolutely.
The drivers are
Absolutely.
the drivers for the most part will always tell the truth.
Hold up,
Um,
Lance. So you
so
work at
yeah, it
Lanstar.
just felt
You
like,
got
and I asked
banned.
them ahead of time, "Hey, are you guys going to let me go?"
Hang on a second. Lance says Lance still works at Lanstar. He's a Lanstar
I don't
driver,
know.
right?
Yep. Yeah, he's a
Okay. He
Lanstar
got
driver.
banned from hauling hazmat
Okay.
for 6 months for a bad inspection. So
He
they
had to have
require
had a
I didn't know they
hazmat
did
load.
that.
they require you to have hazmat to get hired, but yet they can ban you from not hauling hazmat.
I'm pretty
Bastards!
sure he got banned from hauling hazmat because he failed an inspection with a hazmat load.
That's what he said.
Gots to
Bad
be.
inspection. So there's nobody
That's
Yeah.
most
questioning
likely what
that.
happened.
He said that. I'm just saying they're going to stop their current drivers from hauling hazmat, but they require you to have a hazmat endorsement before they hire you.
They require you to have it. They're not gonna force you to do it.
That's
To
not what
haul
I'm saying
hazmat.
at all. I'm just saying don't contradict yourself by two different rules.
I'm just telling you what the lit weed is over here. You
I don't
have
need
to
that.
have it. You just don't got. You ain't got to
I know
use it.
what it is. I know what it is. I know. That's what I'm saying. Is I won't be using the damn thing. Honestly, that's the biggest reason I haven't done it yet. I haven't made that move.
But then once you get it, what's the whole point of not you? If you got a load on the low board that's paying pretty decent, it's a hazmat load. And you come
Listen,
over,
I don't care. It's like,
you come over here saying that you'll never haul a hazmat load. You're gonna haul it because it pays.
People misunderstand that. Oh, you're scared. No, I'm not scared of hazmat. Here's the thing. I don't feel I'm going to utilize that endorsement enough of a return for me to have to get it.
Sure, it's just
That's
one
why.
load. One load is pretty much your return on investment right there.
Yeah, I was going to say,
I
if
just
you've
don't
ever
believe
hauled
that.
a hazmat load, the pay is there for the hazmat load, so it's worth trouble. But like you said, Landstar does require it. Mercer, not so much. They rather you have your TWIC card more so than your hazmat, but they have hazmat loads as well. Even with Flatbed. But yeah, with Landstar, they do have a lot of hazmat loads. And those loads can pay very well.
And
Well,
I mean,
not
I know
lately,
hazmat can be something as little as fucking just 50-gallon barrels of oil versus or hydrochloric acid. It's a wide variety of
It's got to be
hazmat.
1,000
True.
pounds or more. Country,
I know
1,000
that.
pounds or
I
more.
know.
You'll get a
As long as it's
hazmat
less
load.
than
Because
1,000 pounds, yes.
because I technically have a little bit of a hazmat thing through Schneider, but again, it's about weight. Because even household freaking like Comet and
Yeah.
Clorox is considered hazmat. It's just under a certain weight,
Of course, roll that truck over with a truck full of Clorox. See what
Yeah.
happens.
right?
Gonna be a lot of white clothes out there.
Yeah. Fucking change the asphalt white.
Hey, James, read the comments.
Well, I was trying to, but that's okay.
You ain't said a word.
I've tried to read comments, and you were reading them for me, so I shut up.
You ain't said a word.
First truck be used 3 months with a year warranty, and then pray. Evening, guys. Tommy Creamer says, I need some popcorn for this shit show. Yeah, it is a shit
That's
show. There's no doubt.
That's why we call it the shit show,
Prayer
baby.
works everywhere, man. Shoot.
The
And
trucking
probably
shit
some
show.
toilet paper.
One violation was a placard not secured to the tote. The number was blocked. So 2 violations on the same tote.
Oh, damn. Okay.
Man, so they opened up that trailer.
Jake the Snake
Yeah.
said he got terminated from Landstar and they let me finish like 2 weeks worth of loads. I had booked before they terminated my contract. Actually, it was like they gave me 2 weeks notice. Was nice.
That's pretty decent
That's
number.
good. That's good to hear, though. I mean, honestly, because not many motherfuckers will do that shit. Like,
I'm pretty sure those
Well, Jake
agents
the
didn't
Snake
want
should've
them
did
agents
cheese
did not
about it.
want to deal with reposting those loads and getting them back out.
Yeah,
there,
that's what it
man. I
was.
bet you that's what
Hey,
it was.
we can make money off him for 2 more weeks. He's already got these loads. Let's let him get it out of our way, so we ain't got to deal with the headache. So
It was like, my
either
last
way,
load would end up at my house. Let me finish this out, man.
yeah.
All right,
Either
man,
way,
but,
he got to work that final 2 weeks. That was good. Okay.
What Jake, what you got terminated for? Let me take a guess. Sit and duck policy.
Ooh.
Yeah, I think Hirschbach. Hirschbach is one of those. Kerry, I know you're talking about how he.
Yeah,
Lovell
they're
explained his
big about that
experience
sit and
there.
duck thing.
Yeah, sit and duck probably for sure. But yeah, I looked into Hirschbach really, really good before I even came to Schneider, and I don't know. Well, you heard Love, so there was I didn't go over there because of
It was
that.
a
Their
never
big
lease.
their biggest selling point was 99 cents a gallon of fuel all the time. Then they
The
start talking
fleece
about,
lease, as they call it.
and then
Or
they
Camels call it.
You know what
they're
the-
like,
But you know what the problem is with that 99-cent fuel? You're still paying 99 cents for fuel. Even with Swift, you got the fuel surcharge, which was anywhere between 40 and 70 cents a gallon, which you everybody knows that it's about 42 cents to run a truck. So you're getting your fuel for free at Swift. You remember that, Daviel?
Give
We've
or
talked
take.
about that before.
Yeah, give or take.
So you're
Get
still
your
paying
own fuel
99
card,
cents
you'll
for
make
fuel.
money off of that fuel.
That's right. I made money all the time.
yeah, it was just one of those things with them. You know, their biggest selling point was 99 cents a gallon of fuel all the time. Maintenance from ground up, full coverage, but then they talk about how they add 10 cents per mile for this, another few cents per mile for this.
They take out money out of your settlement every week, and it goes into like a maintenance pool.
Yeah,
They
But
nickel and dime
like
you.
like you said, anything that goes wrong with your truck, like your engine could blow up today, you won't pay a thing to fix it. They'll
right.
put
It
you in a
goes into
loaner
an
truck.
account.
Yeah, it goes into like a account for the entire company, but they'll put you in a loaner truck. They'll either get your truck fixed or put you in a brand new truck, no matter what's wrong with it. If your
Yeah.
transmission went out, you blew all 10 of your tires, they'll do it all. All you gotta do is get to
Yeah.
a shop and they'll do it.
Yeah, I
And
mean,
you don't pay a dime.
that like those were the selling points, and then the reason I didn't do is one, I couldn't choose my truck. Two, I couldn't get a new truck
But
if I
what
wanted
sucks
to.
with that though is if you have a really good truck and you're getting $300-$400 zapped out of your check a week, and your truck doesn't have issues. So now
Yeah,
you just
you
went
pay
months
for
losing
somebody else's
$300-$400
repair
because
on
you
your
have a
truck.
fairly new truck.
Yeah,
Yep.
so
So it sucks on the
and
back
the
end.
longer
You're
and the
not
longer
happy.
you drive, the longer the trip, the less you make. You know, that's kind of the way their deal was too, pretty much.
Yeah, what's that next comment there, James?
I'm working on it. I made an extra 10,000 while he's took time to find another company.
That was good, Jake.
He
Nice.
said,
Nope. Jake said that he left the left lane warning, a speed warning, and then a 15 mile per hour speeding ticket within 4 months. That's why he was fired.
God damn.
Newman attack. Hirschbach requires operators to stay out 3 weeks, and they won't even recruit you until you agree to it.
Is that true, Steven?
That maybe that's true now, but it wasn't then. But of course, you're never going to make any money at any company if you're trying to run home every weekend unless you have a really good setup or you live in a good freight area and freight is always passing through. So it's true, but not entirely true. But there is a lot of truth to it.
See somebody out here trying to. You see that comment right there? They trying.
I was at Lanstar for 18 months or so. Is Lanstar a trucking company?
They trying to start some shit tonight, man. They really trying to start some shit tonight.
That was
Loved it there. Wish I could go back.
that was
It's
an
a
interesting question. But
non-asset-based company.
Well,
I'm gonna just
hang
answer
on.
the question. I'm just gonna go there. It's a non-asset-based company. Okay, they do every freaking thing.
That goes
Luminous.
back to a few weeks ago, love, when we was giving D a hard time. We're like, he kept saying, Landstar's a logistic company, not trucking. It does everything. Yeah, it's just a way back joke. That's all that was. So they punching him in the ribs.
But they
right
are.
now.
Landstar does do everything.
Yeah, maybe, but they're still a trucking company.
They're not
All right, go
trucking
ahead.
company.
Okay.
It's a logistics company.
So it said it was true as of
Non-asset-based.
September. So, like I said, it must have been recent.
Talking about
So,
Hirschbach.
yeah, like
Yeah,
like
the
I was
Hirschbach,
saying, it was
yeah.
recent according to the comment. Yeah. So then I said it wasn't because I was at Hirschbach in 2022. So I felt like it had to be a recent change.
So Darius says a truck shouldn't never blow up. The average semi should go 1,000,000 miles unless someone been in the mountains playing with 20,000 RPMs often.
Yeah,
That's
They
odd.
should listen. The way
Of course
these
not. That was
modern
me. That was
engines
just
have
me
been
over
designed,
exaggerating and being
the
dramatic as
issue,
hell.
the
But no,
issue that we
nobody's
have,
truck should be blowing up. He's absolutely right.
Brother saying
the
at
issue
the
that
time,
we have is that
it's
you just have
driver
a bunch
reported.
of people that hold the steering wheel. They don't necessarily. A lot of people nowadays they drive trucks, but are not necessarily truck drivers. Okay, they don't care
Yeah.
about the equipment. You'll see them hauling down the road. You
But
see how dirty that damn equipment is. They don't care about that equipment. As long as it goes from point A to point B,
hey guys,
they can care less
I have
whether
a
or not
quick
the oil
question though.
gets changed.
How long are you guys going to be on?
I don't know.
Shoot.
We
How
just
much
kind
longer
of
are you
wing it.
guys going to be on?
We don't have a
Until
definite time. What's up with you, brother?
Um,
What's up?
I'm just gonna get back in with my family real quick, and once we get back home, if you guys are still on, I'm gonna jump back on.
That's
All
fine,
right,
man.
It'll
You
be
do
about
something
maybe
with
20
your
do
family.
your
minutes if
thing,
you
man.
guys are
When
still on.
country gets tired, that's usually when we fall off.
Yeah,
When his
usually around.
bedtime
But he
comes.
doesn't
Usually
get
around a
tired, though.
couple hours.
All
Tonight
right,
is gonna
so
be. I
let
got
me
an
get
early
back to you
morning.
guys.
Hey, love. Thanks for coming in with us, brother. And if
Thanks,
we're
buddy.
not on, if we're not on when you come
All right,
back,
I'll
then
see y'all in a little bit.
we'll get you another night. Okay.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, I'll
All
come
right,
back on and
brother.
get on y'all nerves.
Bye.
All right, buddy.
So Raymond says he kind of misses the road, but I'm grossing about 2,000 a week, home every day hauling chicken feed. I see all the big reefer companies at the processing plant, including Hirschbach.
If you're making that, stay where you're at, brother. Stay where you're at.
Merrill says, "Hey Rabbit, what made you choose F2F over Mercer, for example, or Lanstar?" Well, I would have went to Lanstar, but the problem is with Lanstar, and I've discussed this many times.
Trailer
Let
moving,
me
you're getting freaked out.
Yeah, that's why I didn't say a word. Let James keep talking. That's why I didn't
go
say a
ahead,
word.
guys. Go ahead.
That's
They asked
why
me,
I didn't say a word. You go ahead and
not
do your
talking
thing.
to you.
Answer
I'm
the
talking to D. Go ahead. You go ahead, D. Say what you're going to say.
Just answer the
I
question.
was
Go ahead.
trying to, but you interrupted me.
Well, you know what?
Go ahead.
Go ahead. There you go. Go.
So I've answered these questions before, Landstar, and you can ask D. It takes about 5 to 6 weeks for them to approve you to get on at Landstar. I checked into Mercer. The problem with Mercer, I heard too many bad things about Mercer. So I chose F2F because I actually met some people that ran for F2F, and everybody that has worked at F2F really had nothing bad to say about them. And again, it's kind of a toss-up between the three companies. In my opinion, I think you're probably going to make about the same amount of money as all three companies. But that was my my go. So go ahead, you guys talk.
Well, you guys, hell, I didn't interrupt your ass at all. But can you tell what trailer that is beside of me? Just by glancing.
JB Hunt.
There you go. I knew you would, James. That's why I was asking. That's why I was like, yes. I wasn't saying a word. I was just doing my animation for people out there to see, not you.
Go ahead,
I would
D.
never interrupt. I would never interrupt the fly rabbit. Why? Because he's so fly, baby.
He's so fly.
Put your comments
Yeah,
in, D,
man.
and then I'm going to read the comments.
No, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
No, they were asking you why you chose to go to F2F over last.
Well, okay, let me restart this. what was you going to say while I was talking? Because when we had Stephen Love on just a minute ago, all four of us were talking at the same time. My wife has even texted me and said, you guys can't even get words out between each of you all. And it's so fucking funny because I can't even read the comments because you guys are talking. So go ahead. Say what you were going to say before I answered the question.
We've already
And
done
that's
past
why
this. We
it's
were
called
talking
the
about
shit
the
show.
trailer situation, but we already passed this. Read the next comment.
Why don't you guys read the comments? How about that? Go ahead.
All right, goddamn, put them up there. I'll read
Yeah,
it.
put
Goddamn
'em up.
shit. You want to be a little baby? I'll read them. They're steering wheel holders. You're damn right. JB Hunt steering wheel holder. Auto transmission seems to be
I don't know about that.
Auto's an argument before or against. Okay, depending on your old school, new school. If you're in heavy traffic, everybody's got an opinion on autos versus manuals. They both have their place. I could
The
drive
way
a
that
manual.
I see it,
I
right?
wasn't going to be automatic restricted, so I trained in a manual and I'm old school. So I don't.
It's the same way with your own personal, with a car guy. Doesn't matter whether it's an automatic or a manual. He's gonna take care of his shit. He's gonna do his oil change. He's gonna do his brakes. He's gonna do all that stuff. Problem with these new truckers nowadays is that, especially with these company drivers, they just don't care. They don't care whether the equipment breaks or breaks not. Long as they make their money, and long as the company can put them in another truck. I mean, they're gonna bitch them on and complain about being placed in another truck because it's gonna take them forever to get put in a truck. But as long as they getting their check, they getting their layover, they deadhead the little extra whatever. They really don't care. They'll run that damn truck into the ground. They'll put it on the market and sell it to me like a damn fool, and I'll be sitting here trying to take care of it.
Got a small preview on Thursday. What happened Thursday, Newman?
All right. So I'm going to make this right now. I'm going to read this one. He says he can't wait. He can't wait to hear Poppy vent on here. I got a small preview on Thursday. So I don't know what the Thursday thing is, but Poppy will be back on. He's going to do some venting. And we did a video about a month and a half, 2 months ago. And that video is going to be re-released. We were told to take it down. That video is going to be re-released. And I strongly suggest you guys watch that video. Poppy really lost it, and it's going to be something really to watch. Go ahead,
I
guys.
hope
Read
it
some
does come
comments.
back on because I never got to finish watching that whole thing because I was in the Ozarks when that happened. So by the time I was done getting out of there and had cell signal, you had already removed the video. So I'm very interested in seeing that video again. So does that mean in the future you're gonna be back on Wednesdays or Thursdays with Poppy, or he's gonna be joining us on Sundays?
Just like I said at the beginning of the video, nothing's really been discussed yet. But yeah, something's going to happen, but I don't know what. Don't have any answers yet.
Oh man, I can't wait till we get to that comment. What's the next comment after this one?
Go ahead.
What's so funny? I don't know. Next comment. Y'all all fighting this evening. Is that JB Hunt trailer country?
Carry me, Lou.
I guess this was all we was going the back. We was doing a little back and forth thing. F2F is a good company, long as you got some common sense. What do you say about that, James?
Once again, at the beginning of the video, I stressed myself to, everybody what I thought about F2F. I don't think I need to repeat myself. I mean, go back and watch the comments.
Well, sure we do. It's live. I mean, not everybody was here in the beginning, bro. I hope we're alive.
F2F is a good company. Let's just put it that way. James has been in 500 bar fights. Okay, what's that supposed to mean? I wonder. 500 bar. Well, the problem. Okay, listen. This is the problem that I have. Okay, I love having you guys on here, but every time we do this show, and that's why you see me doing different things. I'm over here looking at my phone, reading comments. Well, the reason I do that is because you two and whoever comes in, you all over talk each other all the time. So that's why I keep my mouth shut. I let you all, and that's why, this is why I do what I do and put this shit up here all the time, because it becomes your all show. And that's fine.
And
I'm not mad.
And you think that's going to solve anything or change?
No, it's
anything?
It's not going to solve anything. Absolutely not.
So but that's just your way of putting a jab at us. So what
You're
if we
doing
want
it
to throw
again.
hooks back?
But you guys
Yeah.
have to give a chance for a person to talk. I mean, you had Steven on here. You were asking questions, D, and you were over top of him. And same thing with you. You got to give the people time to talk. My wife's texting me right now, bitching at me because I'm being a diva for not letting you guys talk. It's the other way around. I'm letting you guys talk. And that's what she's talking about. She's telling me I'm being mean to you guys. Not being mean. I'm letting you guys talk everything you want to. You're even smiling down there, D, because you know I'm right. I keep my fucking mouth shut. I let you all read the comments.
Well, it's called the Truck and Shit Show.
You're the one. You're the one. You're the
So-
one who has control of the screen.
Let's
Nobody else does.
All right, let's go back and answer some of these fucking comments, okay? Because there's a shit ton of comments.
Yeah, let's
so
go.
Is there freight for all types of flatbeds at Mercer? So the Mercer guy's gone. We can't really answer that.
They do have flatbed and they do have dry van. So
the biggest problem with new trucks is the DEF system. Yeah, like 90-something% of problems with new truck is the DEF system. Mario says his payments is $10.50 a week for a 22 Cascadia. Yeah, they charge a little bit extra for the Burgundy, by the way.
Do they?
I'm joking, buddy.
Oh.
You put Burgundy on there. I just wanted to say that they charge more for Burgundy. See, I got you guys laughing. Irishman says, I drove manuals in the 90s and the drive.
Thank God that might.
There you go. There's your MN89 guy. If you're watching this, fuck you and your Peterbilt gave me so many.
Listen, I got a story to tell about MN89. Fuck MN89 my damn self too, man. I had a 2020 or 22 Peterbilt with those guys, man. And fuck me, I ran head to the hills when that thing turned 100,000 miles. And on top of that, the way they just play with your money as well too, it was just freaking ridiculous. Matter of fact, imagine you making $7,000 for the whole week, right? And you think you're about to get you a $4,000 check, and all of a sudden you see these deductions from these tolls that you never freaking took a day in your life. And then when you try to audit them, they sit there and say, oh, well, we got a pool toll and everybody share this and everybody. And then when you say, send me the pictures of my truck going to the tolls so I don't have to pay for it, then all of a sudden it turns into a 3-4 week freaking affair. And on top of that, they want to sit there and mess with your damn clock. They don't do the super ego stuff, but they still want to mess with your damn clock. So yeah, fuck them.
So let me answer this question. Lance Calhoun said, is the Poppy video going to be on the Fly Rabbit? Absolutely. It's going to be popped up. Probably won't be this coming week, but it's going to be the week after. But I can tell you guys, you want to watch it. And let me give you, somebody's thing is in the background there. I got JB Hunt. I'm going to put it out here right now for all you guys at JB Hunt and drinking the Kool-Aid and love it and all that. They did 10 to 15% on all the loads were cut back about 3 weeks ago now. That was one of the reasons why I left. And when I left, when you leave JB Hunt, they will put it on your DAC report that your contract was terminated. Now, it's generic. It doesn't say that you terminated the contract. Doesn't say that they terminated the contract. It just says the contract was terminated. In some truck places, and that's one of the issues that F2F looked at and called me about after the fact and said, hey, do you know they put this on your DAC report? And I wasn't aware of it. So guys, be aware. JB and me and Poppy have said it dozens of times, and I'm not trying to put Poppy in a hot seat here or anything, but he's already told me he's excited about coming over here, make the announcement. But just to give you guys a heads up, JB Hunt is a shitty company. Now, they were probably the best paying when I first went over there, and I made a lot of money at JB Hunt, but they have a lot of issues, and and you can read in the news yourself. They had a lot of changes in the last couple of weeks. They've got a
fancy name that you gave them.
They got a new president. They got a new president that just came in that's taken over. I don't know if it was president, but he's pretty high up the ladder. And they're making a lot of changes. And my problem was I actually tried to go back to JB Hunt. And one of the trolls on up the channel actually said something about it. Don't know why I wanted to, but I got a little scared here at F2F at the beginning. Things weren't working out, but things are working himself out now. But yes, I did try to go back to JB Hunt. And the problem is with JB Hunt, They would not call me back. I tried numerous times for about a 3-week period to get a hold of somebody, and they refused to call me back. Then I had the situation with the terminated contract thing, and then I just said, you know what, fuck it. I'm not going back to JB Hunt because of a company like that. Even if I wanted to, I wouldn't. So with that being said, I reached out to Schneider and was going to go back to Schneider, but still, that's up in the air. But right now, F2F is where I'm at. That's where I'm going to stay for a while. And Poppy's coming over, and we're going to work these things out. Wanted to put that out in the air, and I will do a video about JB Hunt too. The only reason I haven't done one yet is because Poppy's still over there. We do have other friends over there, but they're not going to be incriminated. But Poppy would if I put a video out. So I haven't done one yet, but I promise you, when we do a live about that, that's one you're going to want to watch. All right. So what was you saying, D? What's the company? What
was the what did they put on your report? Like what did it say? Or what were you calling it earlier? You called it something else.
Contract was terminated.
Yeah, but you called it some fancy name earlier.
No, contract was terminated. There's nothing fancy about that. The contract was terminated. Now, you can read between the lines and figure out, did I terminate the contract or did they? I did. I terminated the contract. But when other companies look at it, they think that they terminated the contract, which it wasn't. Is that what you're talking about? Because I never said any fancy name for it that I'm aware of.
Never mind. Well,
Might have been somebody else on here talking about it or something, but no, they terminated the contract. All right, so let's get back to these comments. Irishman, I drove manuals in I think I've already read that one. Newman attack. Nicole, you can quit texting me anytime. I mean, I don't know why you're still texting me. You're going to bitch some more. So Newman attack. Preview meant that I talked to him on the phone Thursday, and he told me some things. Oh, you talked to, okay, so you talked to Poppy. Okay, gotcha. Fuck all the Russian companies. I agree. You are a badass. Who's a badass? Me or the other guys? I'm not a badass. I'm actually a good guy.
Badass, James.
I'm too lazy to do flatbed. I agree with you there. I am too lazy to do flatbed too. I wonder how your corner office teammates at Lanstar feel about that hat you're wearing. Oh, that's fucking funny, man.
I'm gonna tell you the same thing I told my my peoples at Lanstar. If you want me to change my hat, give me one. Give me some gear. Until
That's
then,
funny.
leave me alone.
I just found this, but I'm confused. Who do you drive for, Rabbit? F2F, Tommy. F2F. There's a lot of confusion going on right now because all of us are going after each other tonight for some reason. 501 bar fights. What is that?
They say you've been in 501 bar fights.
I wonder if that's a YouTube channel that he's talking about.
No, he's talking about earlier when we was going back at it with each other.
A lot of companies I've been looking to lease onto want you to be out at least 3 weeks at a time. The thing is with that, Elizio, is that how you say your name? You're a lease operator / owner operator, whatever you want to call it. I mean, whatever time of the day or whether it is with certain people, there'll be trolls on here saying you're not an owner operator, you're a lease driver, whatever. But you still should be able to make your decisions when you want to go home. Doesn't matter because it's your paycheck that you're working on.
However, you're not gonna make any money on that. The longer you be out there, the more money you'll make. I
got license on a manual too. I actually got my license on a standard too, manual transmission.
So did I, man. So did I.
Ain't too many of us left around, to be honest with you. Not the new guys, anyways. I've been doing it for over 20 years, but hope I never have to drive a manual. Too much already to control. Actually, that you made that comment. Driving a manual, you're in much more control than what you are in an automatic. It's actually the opposite. You control everything. And it's easier to handle. Don't you agree, 18?
I believe so. Also keeps that damn cell phone out your hand too. So
that's right. What about you, country? Are you got manual transmission on your license?
I think he's restricted.
I'm not restricted. Hell no.
So you got a manual on yours too?
Well, I'm not restricted to automatic. I mean, I went to CDL school in a manual transmission, but it doesn't say on your. It doesn't say on the driver's license manual approved. It doesn't have a restriction.
Right.
So,
But when people
that's what it
when they
makes.
go to school and they get a restriction, it's on their license. We just didn't know.
Yeah.
Didn't
When
know.
if you train in an automatic and get your CDL on the back of your license, it says automatic restricted.
And lockout for so
And
Jake
look
the
out.
Snake back. The rate cuts could just be the fuel surcharge going down with the fuel prices. Not sure if you can see the fuel surcharge or not at JD Hunt. No, I can't see that. Yeah, I don't see the fuel prices going down. I don't know where you're seeing that. I mean, have you guys seen fuel prices going down? I don't see them going down. They're about the same.
My fuel
They're not
prices
going
have
up.
always been down.
Depends on where you're at, of course.
Yeah, I mean anywhere between 270 and 310 or so is what the average is, depending on where you're at. I don't think they've been like that for about 6-7 months. I don't think anything's really gone down or gone up. Alicia, didn't MN89 have a disgruntled lease guy shoot up the place? You know about that?
It wasn't MN89. It was another one of those Chicago lease companies, but it wasn't MN.
All
What's
right.
MN? I don't know who MN is.
MN89.
MN89.
It was one of those.
I still don't know who they are.
It's a Chicago company. Do the same bullshit like Super Ego.
Oh, it's just another
Give
one
or
of those
take.
companies.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
I spent 6 months there with them. It was an awesomely terrible time.
So Mario made a comment here that I didn't know anything about, but he likes Mercer because half the pay of the load is paid up front and the rest after you deliver.
Yep.
That's interesting.
You get paid after every load. I mean, if you need,
interesting thing about Landstar as well too is that you don't get paid. When you get your load, you get your fuel surcharge and you can get up to 30% of your load right then and there on your card, and then you get the rest of it paid out on your regular pay afterwards.
So he drove for 12 years before getting my first automatic, and he's not going back. Yeah, I agree with you. I don't want to shift anymore.
I think we can all agree that we wouldn't want to drive a manual for work. But given the opportunity to have a manual, like say just to own one, go to truck shows and stuff like that with it, I believe that we all agree that we would love to have one as a manual.
So my buddy, speaking of manuals, my buddy Chris Howard that comes on here every once in a while, he's going to SRO Logistics, and he's the one that's been following us for quite a time, and that's kind of where I suggested him to go to at the time because it worked for him. But he got a Lone Star truck, and he got one of the old Heartland Express Kenworths, and it's actually a manual. I think it's a 10-speed, but I could be wrong. But he bought it from Lone Mountain. It's a 21 or 22, and it's a manual. So that's kind of interesting that they still have them. Yeah, that's kind of weird that they still have them. There's not too many companies that order manuals anymore. So Tommy Creamer says, here's a question for the three of y'all. Answer one at a time. What's the one thing you change about trucking? My biggest thing, if the spot rates could go up, 50 cents to $1, then we would all be rich. I think if you run your truck right at about $3 a mile, somewhere between $2.50 and $3 a mile, I think everybody could make some money. And anything above that would be wonderful. If that's what you're talking about, changing trucking, that's what I would like to change. What about you, Country?
Well, besides the rates, I would love for the shippers and the fucking receivers who require us to be on time that we can require them to be on time.
That's my situation right now.
And get rid of lumpers.
Absolutely.
Get rid of black.
Or just keep your fucking lumpers, but don't require me to sit there for you to count and restack every freaking piece on that truck, because whether it's all there or not, guess what? I ain't changing it back. I ain't going to do nothing to help you. Put a claim.
Buddy, I agree with you.
I feel like once it's off the truck, it should be none of my business.
Yeah.
And
Capstone Mafia needs to go bye-bye, man.
Just keep the lumper business between you and the broker, or you and the customer. There's no reason why it should go through me. Who am I? Why am I paying for lumper fees? Doesn't make any sense.
All right. So what's your deal there, D? What's your change you'd like to see?
Get rid of them goddamn illegals driving them trucks.
Well, that's going to happen here in just a couple weeks, I think.
I gotta say, what is that, like 17th?
17th. Actually, it's just a week from tomorrow, I guess. Yeah.
Oh well, those are the restricted guys, but the illegals, yeah, because the way how
White
I
Volvo
see it,
Mafia.
the way how I see it, right? It's that for one, the biggest issue that we have, and the reason why pay is so low, is because you have people that are willing to take these low pays because it really doesn't affect them because they don't, for one, they don't live here, they're not staying here long enough, and the amount of money that they're making is hand over foot in their country when it's measly pennies to us. And second of all, the other thing that we have those Canadians and we have the Mexicans, mostly the Mexicans, but the Canadians do it as well. We have this written rule that if you bring a freight from outside the country, you go to your point and you must pick up a load going back or you drive back to your country. You cannot hop around the United States for a week, 2 weeks, 3 months, make all your money and then go back. That's not how it's supposed to go. And we have a lot of companies that do it. We have a lot of mega carriers that do that as well too. They have their Mexican based companies. I'm not calling out anybody's name or anything like that, but all I'm gonna say is they have their Mexican carriers that come in, hop around the country, and they go back. And it's not fair to the American trucker themselves. So
All right. So let's see here. He's talking about driving a lot in Houston and Dallas. He's talking about the loggers, is what he's talking about. Log trucks and timber. Irishman agrees. Very true, country. Absolutely effing true. Capstone is garbage. What's up, Austin? I haven't talked to you in a while, man. I'll have to give you a ring tomorrow. You've been watching Bonehead Truckers. I watch Bonehead Truckers every day out here on the road. There's a bunch of Bonehead Truckers out there. But yeah, the YouTube channel, I don't really watch that guy. I don't really care for him. I never have. It's
I
nothing against
finally
him or anything, but he's just different, man. He's actually had a YouTube channel for like 12 or 13 years. I watched him when he was a truck driver. And the unfortunate thing is he was making some of the same stupid mistakes of the videos of people he puts out there. And a lot of people haven't watched him that long to see that.
remember he used to be a Swift driver.
I know. He
So
was a
he was
Schneider.
making those
He was a
mistakes.
Schneider. He was a Schneider
Yep.
driver.
But
Yep, he was
speaking
a
of
Schneider driver, too.
boneheads, all right, I've actually got to witness my own bonehead moment, and I got it on tape. And I
Well,
don't
you
know,
know,
should I talk about it here, or
well,
should I just wait
I
to
showed you
release
the
it?
bonehead driver that I had that ripped the damn fuel pump off. Remember, in the hose, and he walked back carrying it.
I had one guy earlier this week. We were parked at the shipper. Literally just sat there and watched the guy throw a bag of shit out the freaking window onto the shipper's on the shipper's yard.
I've seen that before.
So
I've
the
seen
whole
that.
time I videotaped the whole thing. I was like, I couldn't believe this shit, literally. And then I had to go get the security guard to come tell him to come pick it up. She literally got there, took pictures of his shit, took a picture of his truck, banged on his door, and told him come pick his shit up. Literally.
That's crazy. That's crazy. Darius says Lone Mountain has put about 70% owner operators of quality trucks. I went through Ben's Freightliner, but almost every owner operator I know went through Lone Mountain. Yeah, they're a good place to start. That's probably where I'll end up going if I end up giving up the truck and doing that. Supposedly large penalties for cabbage.
Cabotage? What is that?
I don't know. That only Canadian companies. Mexican companies can deliver the U.S. Any of you members remember Celadon? Actually, it's funny that you brought up that, Tommy. One of my first leases that I did was back in 2015 was through Eagle Logistics. And Eagle Logistics parent company was Celadon. But yes, I do remember Celadon. Eagle Logistics was a joke, but from what I understand and what I remember, Celadon was a little bit better, but not much. I had a friend that when Eagle Logistics went under, he just went to the parent company, Celadon, and ran for them until he paid his truck off. He got one of those nice, pretty Lone Star trucks that D hates so much. So does that mean it will be the Fly Rabbit and Poppy again? Don't know that answer yet, Keith. Haven't really. Again, we haven't talked any details out of anything. Mario says apparently Super Ego's trying to pay people to remove the negative comment videos. Yeah, I've heard that
They
too.
tried to pay. Oh, Dan Dealer disappeared. They tried to pay bonehead truckers to start advertising for them. He came out and did a video and said, listen, I told them this god awful astronomical amount. And they never replied to him after that. He's like, everybody's got a price, right? Here's that price where I don't want to do it, but I will if you pay me this much. Apparently, this much was too much.
So cabotage, whatever that word is the term for foreign drivers doing domestic loads. Yeah, I don't like having those guys over here at all. They've got no business being here.
Cabotage, I guess. Cabotage. I don't know. Trying to be all fancy.
I guess D decided just to get off. Maybe we should just.
I was say D lost connection at the perfect timing because it's 2:10 in. It's 9:10. I want to be in sleep before 10:15. So I'm done for the night myself.
All right, buddy. We'll go ahead and end her up here.
It was a wonderful shit show, y'all. I loved all. I love all the commenters. You know, we thrive off you guys. Listen, now tonight we're gonna try this a few more times. We're trying to get a little more. I mean, at least that was my thought, and James seemed to like it, and so did D. So that's why we're talking about. When I say we, it's because none of us are trying to make a decision. We're three in here like a team trying to make a show, maybe turn it into something. We do combat a lot because we're all the same damn way, and sometimes people get a little frustrated with each other. But you know what? I think that's what's part of our charm. At the same time, we're going to try to have some more special guests come in and focus around them for that show. And then, of course, we got to feed off the comments because you guys is what gives us the fuel. That's just your comments is what is the show. We may not get to them right away, but we eventually get to them all. Because when we have a guest on like we do, like tonight, if we're having a conversation with him, then yeah, we're going to have to hold off on the comments, and then periodically we'll put a break on that person talking just for a second, address the comments, and then go back. So just expect a little bit of changes like that with it, like what happened tonight, but maybe a little bit more structured in the future as we do it and get better and follow your feedback and also your suggestions of who you would like to maybe see on the show, so we can reach out to them as well.
So D, Country's going to jump off. You want to stay on for a little bit longer? I'm going to read these comments.
Yep. Well, I'll stay on until my internet goes out again.
Yes. All right. Y'all have a good night, y'all. We'll holler at y'all later on.
All right, buddy. Good night.
All right.
Bye. All right. So let me get to some of these comments. They're starting to pop in. LeBron is GOAT 23. Start with my TETMR with Schneider. Any tip? Well, we've been with Schneider before. I don't know what TETMR is. Do you?
I think that sounds like company
Training?
jargon to me.
Yeah, it sounds like company stuff. We were never company drivers, so I really don't have any good answers for you on that. Probably should have left Country on there to answer that one. I remember when I was a teenager and NAFTA was passed. Yeah, I remember that too. Rates going back up once they get rid of the SAP drivers November 18th. Yes, they're already starting to go up, Mario. Internet issues. It's always about helping others at our expense. Yep. So far, every company I've been with lies about everything they can lie about. Keith, I can tell you right now that F2F really honestly hasn't lied about anything to me yet. They have been and honestly, that's one of the reasons why I decided just to kind of hang out and wait and see how things happen, because this really is the best company I've ever worked for in a trucking company. And I'm not saying that. I'm being totally honest. And it's just the rates are shit. It's not F2F's fault by any means. They're not really a trucking company, just like Lanstar. They just they work stuff off of every load board. John T says, good evening. I guess you just came in, John T. Good to have you. Carrie Me says, tell the guy starting with TE at Schneider to try to do everything himself. I hope you read that. LeBron is the GOAT. I wish SFI had Kenworth again. Well, Mario, they're supposedly getting Kenworths for $25, just to give you a heads up. Don't have any in stock yet, but the rumor has it, and they're talking about it. If that happens, I might look at maybe getting a Kenworth and taking this truck and turning it in. Again, I've got so many ideas and things that I want to do. Trainer engineers. Okay, that's what that means. Thanks for hanging out for a little longer, guys.
Engineers. That's where they're coming up. These companies just coming up with these fancy terms for trainers and students nowadays, man. It's getting out of hand, man. Like, what's the worst thing? What's the craziest thing you've ever heard them call a trainer?
I can't think of anything off the top of my head. I guess you lost your internet connection again. I think one drawback of F2F is all live load unwrite. There's like 4 different divisions of F2F. Depends on which division. If you do your own, picking your own freight, yes, it's all going to be live load, live unload because you keep the same trailer. I'm on what they call, it's not really a dedicated lane, but it kind of is because it's dedicated customers. And with that being said, I'm basically, not everything is live load, live unload. Like I have a drop and hook that I'm doing right now where I'm at, and then it's a drop and hook on the other end. So they say it's about 80%. To me, it's more like 30 or 40% drop and hook. And again, it's not that they're lying. It's just that they don't know. And I don't do all the dedicated. I only do maybe 1 to 2 loads a week that are part of the dedicated fleet. So it's not really that they're lying. It's just the way that it's set up. You got to have a backhaul. I hope that answers your question, Lance. John T. Engineer. Well, I guess 18 is out. Got 29 people still in here. Anybody else have any questions? What about you, Rig Pig? You were glad we stayed a little longer. You got any questions about anything? 18's going to try and pop in again. There you are.
Yeah. If it pops out one more time, then I'm just going to call it quits because it's just being ridiculous.
Yeah, I'm about done myself. I'm going to turn some football on, try to get a little nap before they call me and tell me to start driving because it could be ready any minute.
Are you in the dock right now?
No, I'm not in a dock at all. They're loading the trailer in a dock.
Oh, okay. Well,
does F2F have anything? Does F2F hire out of Connecticut? I don't know why they wouldn't. We do have freight that goes up that way. That would be a question you can contact the recruiter and ask them. Right now, I don't have any confidence in any of the recruiters to send you to anybody. I had a recruiter that I was going to work with, but my problems with him is he wasn't returning any calls. So I don't really have anybody that I work with yet about that. And not only that, I'm not really ready to recruit anybody over here yet. But yeah, I would imagine that they do out of Connecticut. Keep talking about F2F. I'll answer any question you want to know about F2F, Newman. Darius, if you like reefers, F2F has a guy out of Florida, Orlando area that pays well. His name is blank. Just ask the main girl you came in through. He pays well, but has a huge ego. Huh. I didn't know that, Darius. I'll have to call. So that means that he runs out of Florida, huh? Interesting.
Straight out of Orlando. It's not too far from where you are, so
I might have to ask about that. Huh. Let me take a picture of this so I know what I'm talking about. I wouldn't mind checking that out tomorrow. So Darius says, Edwin says, you think Trump will fix the freight crisis? Well, I don't think there's a freight crisis. The crisis is there's too many dumbass drivers that are doing this that came in during COVID and that are pulling freight for free. That's what drove the prices down. There's not a freight crisis. Not only is that an issue, but also these issues that are still stemming from COVID is a lot of these warehouses don't have the people to work. And I think that's what the problem is here at this place that I'm at right now. They don't have the workforce to unload this shit because nobody wants to work. That's the problem.
Freight is back at its normal level pre-COVID. like James said, the issue that we have is we have an oversaturation of drivers versus freight. Hence why a bunch of people, 177,000 drivers are losing their CDL. What, next week?
Yep. So Braham says, how much for a new driver? I don't know what that question. I don't know what that means. 18 is still at Landstar, Austin.
Yep, still here.
Same question. Do you think he'll fix the freight crisis? What's your thoughts or projections for freight coming next year? I think somewhere around March, into first quarter, beginning of second quarter, I think things are going to go up. But honestly, things are already starting to go up just because of the positive things with the stock market. With Trump just getting in office, and he's already starting to make moves and do things here and there. And I think just the people are starting to spend money again because they've sat dormant for the last 2 or 3 years, not knowing what's going on. So, yeah, I think things are going to go. They're not going to go crazy like they were with COVID, but things are definitely going to go up. You got to stay in Florida to get on his account, buddy. I would have no problems staying in Florida, but Darius, while you're on here, what kind of money do you think I can gross doing that route?
I think
You said
it
it was
says like you
good.
got to live in Florida to get on the account. Not
I
stay,
understand, but
yeah.
it says there you got to stay in Florida to get on his account. I see what you're saying. I got you. Landstar expecting their driver numbers to drop short term. He says
Hey,
true.
that's not necessarily a bad thing for us, you know.
No.
It just means there's less drivers to compete with, so now they should be paying more for freight, you know.
Keith says you work in the office, bro. He knows all the shortcuts. Florida or Alabama, because that's where all the runs back and forth. His name is Lane. Don't mention my name. Don't want it or need a bonus, but he does pay extremely well. Okay, I'm definitely. I won't mention your name, Darius. Don't worry about it. Is that what you do now, Darius? And Darius, if you would give me a ring tomorrow. Lane was paying $2,000 to $3,000 per load. There's my number. Write it down if you would. Give me a call tomorrow, Darius, and I'll get back to the comments here in just a second. Please give me a ring, man. I'll be driving pretty much all through the night, and I'll be up till around lunchtime tomorrow. All right. If you didn't get the number, you can go back and watch it or catch it in the comments. Rig Pig. So going on what 18 just said about the $100,000 drivers getting to lose their CDL, this is actually might be a good thing for me to start driving. That is, but it's not. It's over 100,000. It's more like 400,000 from what I read. It's actually a little bit.
170 plus thousand.
I read somewhere that it was 400. I could be wrong, but I know it's a lot of fucking drivers. Lane was paying 2,000. I've already read that. Oversaturation of drivers, undocumented coming in, driving illegal. If we can get Vivek appointed to the DOT, I feel would be golden. As we get the repeal of exempt law 1938. So what's FSLA exempt law 1938?
If Vivek could replace Pete Booty, that would be that would be freaking great for truck drivers. I'm not gonna
Good deal, Darius. Why are 100,000 drivers about to lose? Well,
go back
from
to
what I understand,
comment. That should answer your question, Keith. Oversaturation, undocumented, and on top of that, well, the ones that are losing their license are the ones who have been put in prohibitive status for one reason or another. Got something to do with drugs or alcohol.
SAP program.
They either got, if they're in the SAP program, so they got busted for something, and it's either they haven't started their return to duty status, or they haven't completed their return to duty status, or in the process of completing their return to duty status. And those who haven't completed it yet automatically downgrades their CDL to a regular driver's license. Don't get a Class B, you just get a regular driver's license.
Thanks, Irishman. Thanks for clarifying that. I didn't know that.
But Irishman, I agree with you, man. We could get Vivek to be head of department of transportation and replace Pete Booty.
Booty
That would
judge.
be. I call him
He's
Pete Booty because
he's booty judge. He's a booty judge.
he a
So
booty
Darius, you never answered. Is that what you're
warrior.
doing
So
now? You pulling freight for Lane? Is that what you're doing? Yeah, he's just confirming SAP drivers.
yeah, I say Lance says they're not current drivers. It's a mix of current drivers who are in the process of returning to duty but haven't completed their return to duty status. There are people who chose not to return to duty, but they still have an active CDL. All of those people are getting their driver's licenses reduced to regular driver's license.
Okay, so you're not pulling for him. Okay. How come you didn't go pull? Are you at F2F? Why didn't you go pull for him? Is it not for you?
Maybe he's a solar powered driver.
What's that got to do with running that?
Reefer loads are usually nighttime driving.
Not always.
Most
What's
of
up,
them are,
Steven?
yeah.
Yo,
Steve's back.
What's up, buddy?
I've returned.
Can't see you, man.
Hold on, give me just a second.
Man, say
Yep.
he returned to the dark side.
There you are.
All right, there we go.
No, sir.
Ah, man, we had a little bit of a shit show after you left, man. You missed out
Uh-oh.
on a good deal.
Yeah, I see we're missing one gentleman.
Yeah, he went and got his milk and cookies. So
Country's like a pumpkin. He goes dark, man. After the sun goes down.
Oh yeah, I mean, I
But,
told y'all he was a lot lazy. He had to go to work.
you know, but if you live in Florida and need money, he's definitely a person you need to check out. I'll definitely check him out, Darius. I appreciate that.
they ran country off.
That's right.
So let's get back to Steve real quick. All right, so JB Hunt, then Boyd, then your abrupt dismissal from Boyd, and here we are at Mercer.
Yep.
Okay, what was the thought process? Why did you go to Mercer? Was it just a quick on a whim thing, or was it something that was already on the back of your mind? Was it a plan? If A didn't work out, that was your B thing. Talk us
Um,
through it.
it was a mixture of all of that. It was kind of last minute, but at the same time, Mercer is somewhere I wanted to go to at some point. I also did, of course, want to go back to Landstar. Enjoyed the year and change that I was there. But I knew Landstar's hiring process takes forever, and because I was so abruptly dismissed from Boyd, I didn't
Mm-hmm.
have a month to sit at home to wait till Landstar approved me. And I, had heard that Mercer's process was a lot faster, and it was. And by Tuesday they had me squared away, ready for orientation. So Mercer was just a faster process to get into. Plus, of course, their most attractive thing is do your load today, get paid tomorrow, or even same day, depending on how early you get it in. So, of course, that's an attractive offer to anybody who, like me, was just sitting out of work a week and you need
Mm-hmm.
money now. You don't want to wait a week, work a week, and then they're going to hold a week. You know, I need money now. So that was, but I honestly did it. It was a shot in the dark. I did not expect them to hire me because I thought Boyd basically had trashed my record. So for them to basically call me back within an hour, 2 hours, and they're like, so you coming or not? You know, it was it was a blessing, and um I enjoyed my time at Boyd, and I'll never trash them regardless. But sometimes God takes you out of a situation to put you in something better. And
Absolutely.
sometimes we get in our own way trying to hold on to something that God is like, hey, if you let that go, I promise something better is for you. Just let that go. And I got something better
Boy,
for you.
that's been a lesson for me all 2024. I'm not gonna lie to you, man. With all the stuff that's been going on, especially in my personal life, I've seen that where I have let go of some things, I've been blessed
Oh,
tremendously with
oh
other
yeah.
things as well too. You know, so I can definitely see from your point of view what you mean when you say that as well too. So yeah. hmm
Yeah.
So what's the do you have any plans at Mercer, or is a plan after Mercer? Like what are you planning on doing?
All right. So yeah, with Mercer, my plan is basically definitely gonna work there for a while, get my feet wet and all that. Have about what 2 years or so until my truck is paid off. So my truck and trailer be paid off within about 2 years. Let's just say 2.5 years. Um, at that point, maybe I may entertain getting my own authority again if the market is looking, um, healthy enough. If not, I'll just kick it with Mercer. Honestly,
All
um,
right.
I could see myself being there for a while. But like I said, if the market is great in 2.5 years from now, I'll have my truck and trailer paid off completely. I may go back out on my own.
Can you have a fleet over there?
Yes, you absolutely can. Most drivers over there have fleets. Um, the average driver over there has about 3 trucks. Um, the most I've heard someone has so far is about 7 trucks. So they absolutely encourage that, and you can have your drivers book their own loads, or you can book your drivers' loads for them.
Mm-hmm.
You pay the driver yourself, so obviously Mercer does not pay them. You pay them, or you can just let them use the load board, and like I said, they can book their own stuff. But yes, they absolutely encourage you to have fleets,
Okay.
and they will help you with that. They'll help you set up accounts, everything you got to do. Even on the back end, payroll, coordinators, whatever you need to do to be successful with it.
So so far with do you see like are you getting can you is there have you been there long enough to compare Mercer versus Landstar? Because I know a lot of people, it's usually down to the wire when it comes to the two. Since you've been at Landstar before, and I guess you haven't been there long enough, but do you have some type of idea what how the two differences are played, how it's favored over one over the other?
Yeah, like um, and I get, I may not know as much about Mercer as I did about Landstar, but even from what I've seen, and I was going to do a video about that at some point. I just wanted to kind of get my facts together because, sometimes people ask very specific questions and you want to have very specific answers. But definitely they compare a lot. They are different in a lot of ways. Landstar, you can bid on some loads, not all. So if you see a price you don't like, you can call the agent, be like, hey, can we get another $100 on that load? Or, work
Mm-hmm.
with me. Can we meet in the middle? And then some of Landstar agents also, they'll be like, no, the load is firm. Like this is
Well, it's been
Landstar's rate
like
for
that.
that load.
It's been like that lately. I'm telling you, man. Nobody wants to budge. There used to be a time where it was like, "Hey, I could go up a couple $100. I could hit you with another 50." Now it's like, "That's all we got, buddy. You gotta take it or leave it, man."
Okay, so you're at Landstar.
Yeah, I'm at Landstar.
Okay, so you know how I go then. Yeah, like sometimes you could bid on that load. You could call the agent. Like I said, they'll give you maybe an extra 100 or 2, especially during COVID time. I guess it was a lot easier. But now towards even in the end of my time there, everything was just kind of okay. This is just Landstar's rate. It's kind of take it or leave it. And the rate still wasn't that bad, but
Right.
obviously the biggest difference between Mercer and Landstar is that Mercer pays you after each load. That is the big difference that is either yay or nay for most people when they're choosing between the two.
So how
Mercer
does that
pays you
work?
after every load.
Because you still got your weekly deductions, right?
Yes. So, well, yes and no. Mercer actually has daily deductions because you get paid daily,
Okay.
technically. So they have daily deductions. So everything is kind of prorated. So it's not necessarily a set amount. Let's say, for example, let's just say James picked up a load Monday. He delivered it Tuesday morning at 9 a.m. So he'll get all his deductions will be prorated for that one day from Monday to Tuesday. And then he could put up percentage like I have 5% that comes out of each load, and it goes into my maintenance account, my reserve account, which I could use for whatever I want. If I decide I want to pay myself an extra $1,000 this week, if I got it in that account, I could pull it out. So you don't have to use it just for maintenance, because it's not a maintenance account. It's just basically a reserve account, and that account does gain interest. But that's the biggest selling point for Mercer, period, honestly, is the fact that they pay daily, but their deductions are daily. But let's just say on that same scenario, James picked up a load Monday, he didn't deliver to Friday. So he'll have a Monday through Friday deduction. So let's just say, and they don't care if you want to take a month off or 2-3 months off. Your deductions are still going to be there for your insurance if you're getting it through them and stuff like that. And my insurance was $155 a month. That's it. They don't even require you to have physical damage insurance. There's not even a requirement there. You get free windshield replacements for life, basically, as long as you're working there.
Who do you guys use for insurance?
They use, oh God, who is it? I can't remember. I don't think
True
it's
North.
True North.
True North.
It's True. I question. That's should. It's a very good question. It's true, but okay, True North. I was with Schneider, or like through my S truck. I remember getting my replaced for free with Schneider. Um, sorry, I was looking at the comment. Said I heard some companies complain because Mercer was first in and first out on loads, and they are. Sorry, I didn't mean to get off on such. I just saw that, but yeah,
It's
Mercer
okay.
is. Mercer does have that first in, first out thing, but it's kind of a situation like, and I'm gonna just keep picking on James. Like a situation where, let's say James is at home at, oh no, let's just say he lives on the moon. So he's gonna be on the moon till Monday morning. He ready to roll Monday morning. But let's just say I'm looking at the board Friday, and I know the load I have is gonna take me to the moon by Monday. But he's already there on the moon, so he can go on the load board and say, "Hey, I see this load picking up from the moon going back to Earth." But if he does, but so he would get first dibs if he wanted that load. That's if he wanted it. That don't mean he'll get it. That's just if he wanted it. But if he didn't want it, then who's ever, put their name in the hat next, they get offered the load. So sometimes people pick loads, or they'll show interest in a load and they don't want it. They're just kind of like saying, well, if I don't get nothing else, I'll get that load. So they'll have something. So they put their name in a lot of hats. So sometimes they'll get a better load and they'll be like, well, I don't want that load anymore. But yes, that first in, first out thing can be, I guess, a turnoff in a sense. And I understand that because it is a weird thing to work around. But usually when Mercer posts loads, they post multiples of loads. So usually if you want a load, you're going to get it. I haven't actually had an issue with getting a load that I really wanted it. I've put my name in the hat on loads, and if I didn't get it, it wasn't like, oh, well, that ruined my whole week. Now I got to reschedule, restructure my entire week. If I wanted a load, chances are I got it. And sometimes I didn't get a load, and that might have sucked initially, but then my coordinator's like, well, we got something better. It's going the same way, and it's paying $240 a mile versus $206, and I'm like, okay, that worked out. Look at God.
$240
So,
better than $206. So
any day of the week, especially when your deadhead is probably even less too. I was probably about to take that 206 load for 150 miles deadhead when this other load maybe an hour, 60-mile deadhead. So, and it's probably lighter. Like I will say that most of my loads with Mercer have been extremely light. I've carried, of course, I've had a 45,000-pound load. Even the load I have on me now is 20,000 pounds, and it's big steel plate, like crane materials. and I have 4 of those, and they're 5,400 pounds each. So the load I have on me now is maybe 22,000 pounds. My lightest load at Mercer so far was 8,700 pounds. It was a giant valve, some kind of pipe valve, and it was 8,700 pounds. That load paid like, I think like 2,100. So, yeah, but yeah, no, there's a lot of differences between Mercer and Lanstar, but that's one of the main ones. Lanstar would usually want you to have an inspection, I believe, once every 3 months.
4 months.
4 months. Okay, so 4 months. And I think what usually you pay for the first one, and they'll cover some unless that's changed.
Yeah, it's always covered unless if you fail. If you fail, you pay.
Okay. Okay.
Then you got to pay to get it fixed.
Right.
Then you got to pay to get a new inspection.
Right.
So.
So, and then of course Lanstar wants you on. Now Lanstar, of course, is very picky about who they let do their inspections. Usually it's a TA.
Absolutely.
Usually it's some random guy at a TA somewhere.
That
he's the only one qualified to
shops.
do it.
Yeah, they got some private shops that they'll let do it, but they're very picky on who they want to.
Now Mercer is a little more selective on that. You only have to do 2 inspections a year, but one of your inspections has to be done at their terminal. So you have to go to Louisville, Kentucky, at least once every 12 months to get an inspection done from them. But the other inspection, you can have it done anywhere. Also, what Mercer does is, if you pass a level 1 inspection, meaning white glove, they coming all the way through, they checking everything. They're trying to check your truck. They want to see if you got diabetes. They checking your prostate. They going in on you. So if you pass a level 1 inspection by a DOT officer, that counts as one of your yearly inspections.
Oh, nice.
Right.
They give you a little bonus as well too.
So when it comes to that, they don't get dietary bonus, but what Mercer has is what they call like a reverse CSA score bonus. So let's say, for example, James, once again, he was on the moon and boom, he crashed into a crater. Boom, he was at fault. So let's just say he got 30 CSA points for that. But when you pass a level 1 inspection, they give you reverse CSA points. So you can have like negative CSA points with Mercer. And so for example, like they'll fire you if you get to, I think, 200 safe CSA points. They'll terminate your lease, or depending on what you got points for, if it's serious enough, they'll let you go immediately, like holding your cell phone, speeding in the school zone. We know the typical stuff that's real high up the list. But let's just say for James' crash, he got those points. They'll give you, I think it's either 10 or 20 negative CSA points. So it helps you create a cushion for yourself.
Right.
And what they do, which I didn't know, I don't know if other companies do it, but like for companies that have like the million drivers, they went with 10, 11 years without accidents, whatever like that. But what Mercer does, let's say you were 5, let's say James was, 9 years in, he almost at his million miles. He's on his last 100,000 miles, and then boom, he hits somebody, he rear ends somebody. That doesn't start over his million miles as a safe driver. It just cancels out that year. So now he has to wait till next year and start his miles over from where he left off before he had the accident.
Okay.
But he has to sit out a year before it starts counting back towards his million miles. So I thought that was pretty neat. So because they were like, yeah, a lot of these guys have a million miles, but some of them, it wasn't 10, 11 years straight. They did have an accident, but then they went a year without, hitting anyone, and it kept just going from there. So that's actually pretty neat for some people.
Okay. And Mercer, are they 48 states? Are they all lower 48 states, or do they just stick to a certain area?
Oh no, Mercer goes everywhere. They go all 48. They also go to Canada and to the border. I don't know how deep in Mexico they go, but they definitely do go into Canada. They'll tell you about that in orientation because they have, the paperwork you can sign up for if you decide you want to go into Canada.
Conversations that should be taking place backstage. That's why we do this channel. is because of this. Question: do drivers board surf, where they get on the board and pick loads and then unpick them at very last minute? I've never had to access a load board. This is why I'm asking. That's actually a good question. Schneider is a company that doesn't like you doing that at all. JB Hunt, I mean, I would go on the load board and find something, and all I would have to do is just call back. As long as it's not within a 24-hour period, they would take it right back off of me. But when you deal with the load boards that we're on with all the different brokers and stuff, I've not ran into a problem where I've had to take a load off.
Over at Lanstar, you do have you got 24 hours before that load picks up in order to cancel it. However, you gotta you gotta have a good reason why, because the agents will report you to Landstar if you don't have a valid reason. You can't excuse me. You can't just tell them that you lost the tire or your truck broke down. Like, they want to see proof. You got a receipt, something showing that you're in the shop, or you're gonna get reported to Landstar, and you can get your what they call it, your contract terminated. Yeah, that's how it works over here.
Now at Mercer, it's a little more even tighter than that because with Mercer, if you pick a load and that load is booked, you know, whatever, you're committed to it. The only way you come off that load at Mercer is if the agent cancels it, the load reschedules, or of course a truck order not used type situation. But yeah, at Mercer, if you can, of course, look around, you can board surf. You can use Mercer's board. They do allow you to use the DAT board, but they will not pay for it. You can use the DAT board as your own expense. And you can let your coordinator know, hey, this is the load I want to get. Your coordinator will call and make the deal. Um, but if you commit to a load at Mercer, that load is yours. You only come off it if it cancels or reschedules.
Yeah. What about if, like, for instance, where I'm at now, I've been here for over 12 hours waiting on a load, which is going to make me late for the next one. What would they do in a situation like that for you guys?
Well, on my side, if I got stuck in a situation like yours and I've already pre-booked myself up for the week, there's nothing else I can do about it. Just call the agent for the next load, or if it's the same agent that I booked the same load with, just inform them. Just take the load off of you. It'll find somebody. As long as there's adequate amount of time before, so they can actually put it back on the board, get somebody else to get it. They don't mind working with you. But within that 24-hour period, like when you're within that 24-hour period, or you picking up that load, anything that happens, you gotta have some type of proof saying, "Hey, I'm stuck here," or "My truck broke down," or "I'm still stuck in the shipper. I haven't got unloaded yet." You have to show some type of proof. Send it to them, because, like I said, a lot of these agents, they'll just report you to Landstar, and that could put your contract in jeopardy.
So Josh wants to know where the three of you drivers working at. I'm at F2F. D in the top right-hand corner is at Landstar, and Stephen Love at the bottom is at Mercer. I put it in the title too. Welcome back, Rabbit. I'm assuming that's what you mean, because I disappeared for a second.
Yeah, disappeared for a hot second, man.
Huh?
I say you disappeared for a hot second.
Yeah, just about a minute or so.
So you say you had a 2019 or a 2020 International
I got a 2020.
with a Cummins motor, or the 826?
Nah, we got a Cummins up in there.
You got Cummins, and it's
Sure.
been good to you so far. You have nothing major needed to be
No,
fixed or anything like that.
the only repair, like I said, I got currently in the works of being fixed now is my air compressor went out last Saturday. So we're gonna go ahead and get that fixed up. Because for some reason, I guess we're having a second summer instead of having fall or winter, and it's still pretty hot, so we can't be riding around without no air compressor.
Well, it's Florida. We only got two weathers. It's either really
Right,
it's either Florida cold or it's hot. There's no in between.
right. We we got summer and damn summer winter. So it's yeah, that's pretty much it. So other than that, it's just been replace a tire or yeah, that's probably the most expensive. I guess you can. I don't even really call tires repair. That's just preventative maintenance. That's wear and tear type stuff.
Do you know
Um,
where your truck came from? What company it came from?
Western Express. It
West.
was a company truck at Western Express.
So it ain't come with a whole bunch of damages, no missing fairings, no nothing like that.
No, that's the weird thing. They actually gave me the maintenance reports on the truck.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Western Express gave it to you?
No, Western Express didn't. Arrow Truck Sales did.
Okay. That was pretty nice of them to do that for
Right.
you,
So
man.
you kind of know what you like. The only repair the truck, the only quote unquote repair the truck needed when I first got it. Two of the four batteries were dead. So I actually called Arrow, and they actually paid for that. So they paid to replace all four batteries, and that was pretty much it.
Well,
I
that's
think you
good,
got a
So
man.
comment there.
now Darius says pre-booking is set up. Most loads are 30, 40 days early. They pay money for the loads they can't move. The rates jump high on week of delivery. Is this
Yeah.
with your company, Darius, or is this what you were talking about the guy in Orlando?
I think he's just talking about just in general
Yeah, I
Okay.
think in
with
general.
freight.
Oh yeah, I got it. Yeah.
Yeah. So,
I mean,
Steven, uh we got a new we got a new well, we got our new old president back in office. What's your thoughts on how his presidency is going to affect trucking? Do you think it's going to affect it in a negative way, positive way, or is everything just going to keep doing what it's been doing?
um, that I don't know because I put it like this. Um, you know, God directs my life one way or the other. So it could have been Batman that was elected president. If I'm still going to be successful in trucking, then nothing's going to stop that. You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
as far as Trump, okay, I get that at a time where he, got in office or was, I guess you could really say on the way out the office when COVID hit, that business was booming. Um, I don't know if it had anything directly to do with him or it's just the way the world kind of went to hell at that period of time. But I would say that it seems like positivity is in the air. But even once he takes office, whatever policies that he plans to put in place for trucking, it still could take about 5 or 6 months before there's any real change in the rates or the way business works. But
Well,
I'm
we
always
see that
optimistic.
this time around, you also have the backing of the Senate, and I think it's the House or it's one or the other. Either
Got both
one
of
of
them.
them's already been confirmed, the other one
We've
still
already got
hasn't been.
we've
But it's
already got both
showing
of them. We got both of them, Senate and the
yeah.
House.
So you have the
Yep.
Senate and the House. So that means there's not going to be a whole lot of filibuster going on, is what I would assume. So things should be able to, I guess, whatever he wants, his way should go through a little bit more
All right.
smoother than most.
Yeah. I definitely look forward to the positivity. I think definitely him being elected brought a lot of excitement, I guess, back into the trucking world. Or, a lot of people are saying, basically are looking forward to seeing what he could do. I mean,
Hmm.
I made money during his time, but I also
I
made
think a
money
lot of
during
people
Biden.
have seen it that way. Is that when he was here before, we was making money hand over fist, and then here comes the other party, and then all of a sudden we're struggling to
Right.
even just survive. So I think a lot of people that are basing their hopes on, well, he did it once before, while we were with him,
Yeah.
it might be something worthwhile to bring him back because of what we've been experienced for the last 4 years.
And I get that, but I think some people, and like I said, I'm optimistic. I'm one of those people. I want to see what things are going to be like. But I think a lot of people forget that we all know business was booming during COVID time. True enough, but COVID was also the last year of his presidency, and obviously he didn't do anything to bring COVID here, technically, to cause business to boom the way it did.
Right.
So that was a matter of, I think rates booming during the last year of his presidency was a matter of coincidence more than it was Trump's policy. But I do know and, respect Trump as a businessman. And I know as a businessman, he can make some things happen that Biden probably could never have made happen. So I'm confident that change is coming. And I look forward to that change. Um, I just want that change to come if it's a matter of his policies
Mm-hmm.
and not because of coincidence, like with COVID. Because COVID was just sheer coincidence.
Now, you ain't gotta tell us, but I just want to know. You ain't gotta tell us who you did, but did you vote?
No, I didn't make it home in time.
And then maybe
I was
okay.
stuck on the road. But like I said, and it's not a matter of that because, like I said, I could care less if a clown was in office or, like I said, Batman. I'm not that person that says, and I'm sure you guys been seeing it all over Facebook. I care less who anyone's voted for. I don't care if you voted for a squirrel for president. Um, my thing is that regardless of who anyone voted for, no one should be harassing each other.
Mm-hmm.
Um, you should be able to say, well, I voted for, this guy because this, and this. Well, I voted for this guy because this, and this.
If we
And
should
y'all
just
can have
respect
that
each other's
and
decision,
respect each
right?
other's decision without saying, "Oh, if you voted for Trump, you're some ignorant racist ass. Well, if you voted for Harris, oh, you're just doing it because she's of color, and you're just a feminist, and this, and that, and oh, you Democrats are stupid. Oh, you Republicans are racist and high. Don't do that. We should be able to respect each other's opinion. And at the end of the day, Donald Trump won, and let's see what he can do. He's done it before, and then he had to step back because apparently a senile man got voted as president, Mr. Biden. So he, the smartest thing Biden did during his presidency was decide not to run again. That was probably the
I think the
smartest part of
smartest
thing
thing
he did.
that Biden ever did was when he got rid of a lot of Trump policies and saw that how negatively affected the country, he had to put them back in place. I think that's one of the smartest things he ever did.
Yeah, sometimes we all made a dumb decision, be like, man, let me go back and reverse that. So uh, that was that. And that's not to say that Harris could not have brought change, let's say. But people obviously had a good economic time during Trump's, I want to say reign, because that sounds like a dictator, but during Trump's time
That's
in
what they've been
office.
calling him for the last 4 years.
And I don't think people called it him that he may think of himself as one, because let's face it, the man has a big ego.
He
But
definitely does.
I think that he's done some things that can back up his ego. So he may have a big ego, but it's somewhat well deserved. I can agree with that. What about you, Mr. James? You've been quiet over there.
No, what you said, I agree. I agree. I agree with all of it. I'm not so. I agree with you about the Harris thing. I think she would have been the dumbest president we ever had if she would have won. I don't think she would have got anything passed.
Well,
Because just think
Reggie,
about
we
it, we would
currently
have.
have the dumbest president. So
I
she
think
couldn't
she
have
would
been
have.
even worse.
I think she would have been worse. Honestly, I think she would have
Well,
been worse than Biden, in my opinion. And let me tell you why. She wouldn't. She wouldn't able to be. She wouldn't be able to pass anything because, like you said, we have the House and the Senate. So just take that in consideration. If she would have won, we would have had the House and Senate. She would have been. I mean, strapped. There would have been nothing she could have done that would have gotten passed. Nothing.
that's true.
And
That's true.
you talk about Trump and his ego and everything. Yeah, the guy's always had an ego. The thing is about Trump, whether you like him, whether you don't like him, or in between, you know where he stands. You know what his policies are about. You know what he does. You know his idiocracies are and what he has. I just, my opinion, I mean, it was kind of and the country agreed. I mean, if you look at the map is almost all red. He almost flipped California. And that hasn't happened since Reagan. That's been over 40 years ago since California's been flipped. He almost flipped California. But anyway, talking about control, dictatorship, and reign, how you said that. Well, think about it. Think about Biden's presidency, okay? Think about all the things that we were commanded to do during his presidency. Think about that. During COVID, mask, wear your mask, do this, do that, do this, do that. Talk about a dictatorship. He was more of a dictator than Trump could ever even want to be, in my opinion.
But he definitely wasn't suggesting that people drink bleach.
Yeah. What did you say? I didn't hear you. What did you say?
Or taking
He
horse
definitely
medicine.
wasn't suggesting that people drink bleach, though. That
Take-
was a little out there.
Take bleach?
You don't remember Trump suggesting that people drink?
Yeah, people should drink bleach.
I don't remember that. Yeah, I don't remember that one.
I
But
heard the one about the horse medicine as well.
Buddy, let me tell you something. And you can laugh all you want to, and you can look it up. I've actually got some of that in my truck. It works. And
that horse medicine?
It's called ivermectin. Yes. And you know why? Look it up. 2016, they won the Nobel Peace Prize with that fucking medicine, buddy, because it works. Do your research, buddy. The shit works. I've got some in my truck just in case something comes down, with the COVID bullshit. No, it's a proven thing, dude. You take that shit, COVID's gone. And here, Newman even says Trump never said that. The media lied, and there is video on me to back that up. And you know what? You are right. I remember seeing that now that you said that. The media did. And that's what the media does. And talk about control and reign and dictatorship. That's what the media is. And they've been doing that for years. Derry said he almost flipped New York City and Chicago, too. I saw that. New York was really close to being flipped. I didn't hear about Chicago, but New York was.
Yeah, and another thing that killed off Harris, I guess, chances, even if it wasn't Trump she was running against, is that she actually didn't get a lot of the black vote like she thought and may have been possibly pandering to. She actually got less of the black vote than Biden did.
Yeah.
The reason why that happened is because she was trying to pander to Black Americans.
She was doing a little much.
She insulted us by thinking that if you stoop, that you're supposed to stoop low in order for us to, that's where we're at. She brought all the celebrities and all the black celebrities and the rappers and the twerking that, and that's what she thought Black America was. And it's not. To be frank, it insulted a lot of us because a lot of us, we're just hardworking Americans, just like everybody else who wants their own piece of pie. We're not ratchet, we're not hoodlums, we're not crazies out here, and that's pretty much what she portrayed us to be during this election. That's just my opinion, for one. And for two, she played on too much identity politics. Nobody wanted to hear that. Everybody wanted to hear what's going on with the economy. We didn't care about gender ideology. To be honest with you, we really didn't care about LGBTQ issues and all that stuff because it didn't help with the economy. Like,
it's a very small portion of the country that believes in that stuff.
Right. And what the most of the country was more concerned. Not saying that LGBTQ and all the other stuff is it's important to them, but what was important to the country?
I'll be right back, guys.
She was not addressing at all. That's where I think that's where she fell off at.
The reality is that Trump didn't have to beat her; she beat herself.
Oh yeah.
He didn't have to because, like you said, because of the excessive amount of pandering she was doing. If if I like if I could respect nothing else from Trump, I respect the fact that, like James said, he is who he is. When you deal with Trump, you know what you're getting into. For good or for better or for worse, there are no surprises with that man. The way he acts, the way he talks is the way he is.
You get what you pay
Um,
for.
right. Now, I may not have known everything Trump did as a president, but as a businessman, I respect him. As a businessman, I would sit down and have a beer with him. As a person, I don't like him. So
That's a fair assessment.
I could separate business from personal. So
Mm-hmm.
personal, I don't care for him. As a businessman, I would love to pick his brain. I'd sit there and talk to him for hours. As a businessman, because he ran the country like a business. He stood on business. If he wanted something done, he made it his mission to get it done. And I can respect that. And I think any entrepreneur can respect a man who stands on business and will do anything, I guess, even sometimes by hook or by crook, to get his business done and
Mm-hmm.
successful. And that's what he ran the country like. And I can respect that.
I think a
So I
lot of
don't,
people keep forgetting as well too. Is like America is America is not a, how do I put it? America is a constitutional republic that practices some version of democracy, right? It, basically, what I'm saying, America out as a whole is a business. That's why it was so easy for him to do the stuff that he was able to do in his last presidency when it came to making deals and doing stuff like that, as opposed to his opponents and everybody else that tries to treat America as a democracy. But as a whole, we already know that the country is run by bureaucrats and businessmen.
yep,
So in order to be successful, you got to think like them and move like them, and democracy is second place in this country. Even though America tries to spread democracy to the rest of the world, we don't really practice democracy all that much
I mean,
in the grand scheme of things.
democracy is the cover of the book. And as you say, don't judge a book by its cover.
Uh huh.
Democracy is just on the front page of the book, but once you open that book, you'll realize there's more to it than what you saw on the cover. Um, but and I don't, I'm never one to like. I don't care to speak politics, but I don't mind speaking politics in a, like you said, in a respectable environment where people can voice their opinions and no one's calling each other idiots and assholes and
Absolutely.
dumbasses. That because I'm pretty sure if you have a Facebook, you've seen it everywhere. Oh, in case you need a reason to block me, I voted for Trump this year.
Oh yeah, I've seen it all over. I've seen it all
Congratulations.
over, man.
Right, congratulations. Donald Trump won. The election wasn't stolen. It wasn't rigged. The man just won. Congratulations to him. Let's see what you can do. And that's my, the end to that conversation. But no one should be calling each other dumbasses or, just basically insulting each other because of a difference in who they voted for. There's no
Well, we
place
all
for that.
well, also we all know that he's the king of trolling too. He's a king of name calling, so you can't match. I see they tried to match energy with him, and it just wasn't
No,
happening.
you can't out petty somebody like him because at the end of the day,
Absolutely.
he got more money than you. You can't out petty him. And I mean, I look forward to it. I'm not somebody that sit here and say, "Oh, Trump won. It's the end of the world. We're all doomed." No, we're not. Because guess what? Any president, no matter who you are, no matter how big your ego or your wallet is, you're just a puppet in a suit. Congress and the Senate run this country, not the president.
Hmm.
And I mean, I'm excited to see what he can do. Just show us what you could do. You did it before. You talked a good game this time, enough to get you back in office. So, hey, let's see what you can do. So I'm excited to see what he can do.
As an entrepreneur, I'm also excited to see how this can benefit my business moving forward, because it shouldn't be. I feel like what we are getting coming January is that the benefits of entrepreneurs, basically. And I'm hoping that it turns out to be something very fruitful for us for the next 4 years. At least my goal, I made it one goal that I would like to not just own a home, but I want to build my own home from the ground up. And if
That's what
I'm
I'm
able
working
to
on.
do that, if I'm able to do that with it during this next presidency, that's one goal that I can
Buy
knock out. That would be freaking
buy
great.
my property, will you?
How much you selling it for?
We're asking 50 for it. Just double. It's almost a half acre, 0.43.
I want at least 3 or 4.
Backs up to the water too. So
You got fish in that water?
you can. It's a creek that backs into the Indian River. Hmm.
I might have to check it out. Can I park my truck there?
If you build a house, I mean, yeah, there's no deeded community if that's what you're asking.
Hmm.
I think you got a comment there, Mr. James.
Yeah, I don't know what the name of it is, honestly. I get them confused, but I'm on the program where I'm running the dedicated stuff. I have a dispatcher, whatever that's called.
Yeah, Trump is a New
Yes,
Yorker. We are harsh, brash, and New Jersey and New York people don't understand the
we're over
personality
3 hours.
traits of New York or New Jersey.
We're over 3 hours, guys. Why don't we call it
Trump's a
tonight?
Floridian, not a New Yorker. I'll tell you that much. You may have been born in New York. I was born in New York, but I'm a Florida man, true and true. And only a Florida man can do the crazy stuff that
All
Trump
right,
does, man.
we're at 3 hours and 11 minutes. Why don't we call it tonight, guys? I got to get some sleep because I'm going to be driving here shortly.
I answer the last question and then we're out of here.
Any of you guys ever lease with Hirschbach?
Yep, I did.
Yeah, we
I was
talked about it earlier.
I was leased with them for about 6 to 7 months.
Go watch the replay. Go in about the 45-minute mark, and you'll probably hear him talking about Hirschbach.
All right, man. Guys, it was amazing. Steven, it's
Hey,
nice
Steve, thanks for coming
nice
in,
to
man.
finally meet you, man.
Yeah, you guys
It
can
was
have me
good
back on anytime
conversation
you
that
want
we
to.
had here, man. Don't be a stranger to us.
Good night,
Oh
Irishman.
yeah, anytime you guys send me the link, I'll jump on.
Sounds good, man. Good night, D.
All right,
All right,
man. Have a good
peace.
night,
Good night,
everybody.
country. I know you're already asleep, but good night.
He's with his milk and cookies.
Have a good night, guys. All right, guys. Y'all have a good night. And anybody needs to ring at me, I'll put my number up one more time. Anybody needs a ring, give me a call. Be more than happy to talk to you guys. Other than that, we'll see you next week, Sunday night at 7.